Maybe you can just listen to chat.
Hey, nice to see you. No, I'm good. I'm gonna cook with chocolate. Okay, everybody, it is just after 7 o'clock. Welcome to the regular city commission for the June 2nd, 2026 regular city commission meeting in the city of Deerfield Beach. Madam Clerk, would you call the roll, please?
Commissioner Plout,
Yes.
Commissioner Preston,
Here.
Commissioner Schnetsky,
Here.
Vice Mayor Hudak,
Here.
Mayor Drosky.
Here. If everybody would please stand for a moment of silence at the Pledge of Allegiance to be led by Commissioner Plout this evening.
The flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First up this evening, we have approval of the city commission meeting minutes for May 5th, 2026.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion approved by Commissioner Plout, seconded by Vice Mayor Hudak. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Pardon me, let the record show unanimous consent. Next is acknowledgement of our city board minutes for the Education Advisory Board meeting of March 4th, 2026. The African American Heritage Board meeting of April 9, 2026. The Charter Review Board meeting of April 16, 2026 and May 4, 2026. The Community Appearance Board meeting of April 22nd, 2026, and the Code Compliance meeting of April 28, 2026.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Preston, seconded by Vice Mayor Hudak. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Let the record show unanimous consent. Next, we have approval of our agenda for this evening, June 2nd, 2026.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion approved by Commissioner Plout, seconded, I heard Commissioner Commissioner Hudak, seconded by Commissioner Preston. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Let the record show unanimous consent again. Madam Clerk.
For those attending via Zoom online wishing to speak under public comment on an item that's open for public input, please click raise hand at the bottom under the reactions tab, and your audio will be unmuted when you're recognized by Mayor Drosky. For those attending via Zoom by telephone, please press *9 to raise your hand, and your audio will be unmuted when you're recognized by Mayor Drosky. Please make sure your audio is unmuted on your end by pressing *6. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Mr. City Attorney, item number 1 this evening.
Thank you, Mayor. Item number 1 is an ordinance of the City Commission of the City of Deerfield Beach, Florida, rezoning approximately 4.43 gross acres located at 3116 Deer Creek Country Club Boulevard from Business Community B1 to Residence Multifamily RM15. Application 25-R-206, providing for a maximum of 43 townhome dwelling units, providing for severability, conflicts, and an effective date. This is first reading.
Okay, I see the applicant here, Mrs. Belinkie. Come on down. Welcome back.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be back. It's been a little while. And I don't know if we have the presentation perfect. Thank you. For the record, Christina Belinkie of Miskell Backman. My address is 14 Southeast 4th Street in Boca Raton. And I am here representing KHOV this evening for their Tides at Deerfield Beach project. I don't know if we can go to the next slide. So the property is one that everybody has probably driven past thousands of times at this point, although it might not be recognizable as you're driving by because it is heavily wooded and most of the property is actually to the rear, hidden behind an office building. So this property is on Hillsborough Boulevard. Most of the frontage is on Deer Creek Country Club Boulevard, though. So again, it's hidden when you're driving by Hillsborough because there is an existing office building kind of in front of it, which is the reason why it's had so many challenges as a commercial development site. The property is about 4.7 gross acres in size. To the west, we have, I believe there's a Panda Express, and then you have the Target shopping plaza as well, with the Starbucks out parcel, the PDQ, all of that. There's a medical office component in there as well. And then to the east, there are existing multifamily residential units. Directly to the east, it's 2-story kind of garden apartment style walk-up units. And then you have residential to the north as well. So again, currently this property has a future land use designation of commercial and is also zoned B1 community business. Again, because of kind of the hidden aspect of most of the site, the commercial uses just have not been viable. This site has been vacant throughout history at this point, and more than decades. And the commercial uses, there's no commercial users that have come forward that have really desired to develop this site because of that lack of visibility. Unless you have, a shopping center anchored by Target where you have a lot of people coming through one of those strong anchors, that visibility is important for commercial properties. And so this property has been vacant for quite some time. So KHOV is proposing to rezone the property to RM15. And if we can please go to the next slide. Perfect. Oh, actually, one more click. Yeah, so you can see there are RM15 zoning districts abutting the property. Again, those multifamily uses directly to the east are zoned RM15, as well as the residential to the north. So when we were speaking with staff initially about the project and the property, we were trying to decide what zoning district would be most appropriate. From a density standpoint, we are proposing to build under 10 dwelling units per acre. So the RM10 was an option, but to ensure there's compatibility, consistency with what's surrounding there, we felt RM15 was most appropriate. We can go to the next slide, please. And then here we have the rezoning criteria. There is a detailed justification statement in your backup, but essentially there are 5 criteria that we need to look at for rezoning applications. The first is that it's not contract zoning. We don't have any prior agreements to rezone the property with the city. It's not creating spot zoning. Again, because there is that RM15 directly abutting the property, we're not creating an isolated zoning district. The proposed change is consistent with the goals, objectives, and policies of the city's comprehensive plan. And the comprehensive plan talks about the need for more housing, especially with more people coming to Florida, to Deerfield Beach. The high costs of housing right now, more supply kind of brings that down and helps add to the housing stock that the city has. The conditions substantially changed from when it was currently rezoned or currently zoned commercial. So again, this zoning district, the B1 zoning district, has been on the property for decades. Clearly, it has not been developed to date with any kind of commercial use, which indicates the need for the rezoning. And the proposed change will not adversely influence residential living conditions and also is compatible with adjacent and neighboring uses within 500 feet. And again, we showed that there are existing RM15 zones directly abutting the property. We're providing a 2-story townhouse product similar to what is in the vicinity to the east. And so we are proposing something that it's a lot more compatible with those residential areas than, say, a commercial use would be when you're factoring in loading, unloading, noise, traffic, all of that. And with that, that's our request this evening. Again, it's just for the rezoning. We will be back in, I believe, 2 weeks to show you the full site plan, the elevations, and all the pretty pictures that come along with it. But happy to answer any questions you may have on the rezoning this evening.
Okay, Madam Clerk?
Pursuant to Ordinance 2009-006, City of Deerfield Beach Code of Ethics, the applicant's representative made the following campaign contributions. Mayor Drosky, $1,000 on January 10th, 2025. Vice Mayor Hudak, $1,000 on November 17th, 2022. Commissioner Preston, $1,000 on February 21st, 2023. And Commissioner Shinetsky, $500 on January 10th, 2025. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I don't see any lights, so I take that back. Commissioner Shinetsky did, and then when we're done, then we'll go to public comment. Go ahead, Commissioner Shinetsky.
I'm in support of it. My district, District 3, is right by that area. It's off the entrance of Country Club Boulevard. It's several blocks west of Hillsborough. So I think it's a great idea. I am in support of it. The lot is vacant, as you said, but it's heavily.
Microphone, please.
I'm sorry, I apologize. I'm sorry.
No yelling from the audience, please.
Sorry about that. Sorry. All right, like I said before, I'm in support of it. The entrance is off of Country Club Boulevard. It's several blocks west of Hillsborough Beach. And you're right, we do need residents, so I am in support of it. There's a lot of supermarkets, stores, so it would be wonderful for the community to be part of that. The only thing I want to say, and in that it's heavily forest. Unfortunately, there's a homeless population that lives in there. Publix is maybe a third of a mile away, and I've seen when Publix is closing, they go into that forest area with shopping carts. They live in there, and for the grace of God, go I. So all I'm asking is when the time comes for construction, you be sensitive to that. I had outreach to the Broward County Task Force of Homeless, and I made them aware of the problem. I know, our police would be involved with that, but also maybe to work with the Broward Task Force on Homeless to maybe meet with those people, give them resources so that it just won't be, everything will be taken away, everything will be cut down, any possessions they have will be destroyed. So I'm just asking you to please be sensitive to that, and thank you.
Absolutely. We're happy to do that necessary outreach before, any construction activities occurs.
Thank you.
Commissioner Plow, this is in your district.
Thank you, Mayor. And this is in my district. Lived there 43 years. I've never seen anything built there. If it was closer to the beach, I would say maybe there's more of a historical application to it. But I actually remember when that was an open area all the way through the shopping center. But maybe just check to see if there's any historical significance. It's not unlike ever finding a cemetery or something that we didn't know about. Okay, so that's the only thing I'm thinking about. I do think it's very smart to change the zoning. Doesn't seem any good for anything commercial that would want any kind of a storefront because it's already behind a commercial building and it's in a residential neighborhood. And it's an irregular parcel also. So I like how it was smartly used and less 45 townhomes. I believe the code allows about 10 more.
Yeah,
So-
we're proposing 43 and we definitely under what would be allowed. I
Yeah.
think you're right, about 10 more.
So in short, I'm for it. I like it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, no more lights. Madam Clerk, did anyone sign up for item number 1 this evening? So we'll go to public comment. Is there anyone inside the commission chamber who'd like to comment on item number 1 this evening? Seeing nobody, is there anyone online, Madam Clerk, that has their hand raised for item number 1? So we'll close the public hearing on item number 1. I too would be in favor of the rezoning, Ms. Belinkie. I mean, I live in District 4 as well. I'm very familiar with this parcel that has been vacant for as long as I can remember. So obviously the devil's in the details with the site plan. So we'll probably have a more robust discussion next time, but I don't have any problem with the rezoning tonight compatible with the surrounding parcels. Commission?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Wow, that's a lot of seconds. So I heard Commissioner Plout with the motion to approve, Commissioner Shinetsky with the second. Madam Clerk, would you call the roll, please?
Commissioner Plaut,
Yes.
Commissioner Preston,
Yes.
Commissioner Shinseki,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Hudak,
Yes.
Mayor Drosky.
Yes. Mr. City Attorney, item number 2 this evening.
Item number 2 is an ordinance of the City Commission of the City of Deerfield Beach, Florida, amending Chapter 66, Traffic and Vehicles, Article 2, Stopping, Standing, Parking, Section 66-56, Prohibitions relative to stopping, standing, or parking in specific places of the City Code of Ordinances to permit back-in parking in city-owned parking areas and spaces with city signage permitting back-in parking, providing for conflict, severability, codification, and an effective date. This is second reading.
Thank you, Mr. City Attorney. It is second reading. Madam Clerk, did anyone sign up for item number 2 this evening?
No, sir.
We'll go to public comment. Anyone inside the commission chamber would like to speak on item number 2 this evening? Madam Clerk, is there anyone online that would like to speak on item number 2?
No, no, sir.
Mrs. Freitag, come on up.
Katie Freitag, 418 Southeast Second Street. On behalf of my husband, he would say, thank you, thank you, thank you.
You can tell Roger you're welcome. Anyone else like to speak on item number 2? Last chance online, Madam Clerk?
Sure.
Okay, we'll close the public hearing on item number 2. Commission?
Motion to approve. Second.
Motion to approve item number 2 by Vice Mayor Hudak, second by Commissioner Preston. Madam Clerk, would you call the roll, please?
Commissioner Plaut,
Yes.
Commissioner Preston,
Yes.
Commissioner Shinseki,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Hudak,
Yes.
Mayor Drosky.
Yes.
We are now at the public comment portion of tonight's meeting. Persons addressing the commission shall state his or her name and address and may speak for 3 minutes. This is the part of the public comment that for items that are not on tonight's agenda. If you have public comment on an item that is on tonight's agenda, the time to do it is after I read the title into the record and the mayor opens the public comment period for that particular item. As a reminder, no comment shall be made related to the personal life or personal qualities of any person, and no language which would offend persons of ordinary sensibility shall be permitted.
Thank you, Mr. City Attorney. Madam Clerk, did anyone sign up this evening? Who's first?
Captain, no, sir. Sorry. Captain Hoffstein and then Lieutenant Hamlin.
Okay. Captain, come on down.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Commissioners, Mr. City Manager, residents. I'm going to speak quickly because I only have 3 minutes. I'm starting my timer. What I'm going to do is I'm always going to take the opportunity to dispel any untruths that are put out there to the public. And most importantly, I'm not going to tolerate any personal attacks by any members of the public against me or my staff. For example, his name was mentioned, so if it's public record, I can mention again. Mr. Freitag mentioned, and I'm not disparaging anybody's comment or character, mentioned on social media, BSO does not serve and protect. Time to move on to a better form of public safety. And officers, by the way, we're deputies, not officers, alluding that we don't care to do the right thing. So let me talk about some examples of my deputies that supposedly don't care to do the right thing. This is within the last several months. Our district has a unique quality control detective who evaluates each and every domestic related and threat related report that is completed by our deputies. Based on her investigative instincts, Detective Jennifer Montgomery personally followed up on a domestic situation and went out in the field and discovered a tracking device surreptitiously planted on a victim's vehicle. Through her efforts, an arrest warrant was authored, charging the suspect with 2 counts related to the installation of a tracking device without consent and 1 count of aggravated stalking. He was taken into custody and awaits trial at this time. During another high priority case, we received reports of an individual exposing himself to pedestrians within our city's beach area and committing lewd acts in the presence of female victims. Through perseverance and dedication, our nighttime patrol sergeant, Sherry Patoro, who also has decades of investigative experience, would not rest until this subject was identified. Through collaboration with multiple agencies in Broward and Palm Beach, her efforts led to the identification and arrest of a registered violent sexual predator who spent years in prison for the same types of offenses. He now sits in custody waiting for justice to be served, facing more decades in prison. And most importantly, he no longer poses a threat to our city's residents and visitors. The last case I want to share with you is the most stirring and impactful. Our law enforcement and fire rescue personnel responded to a single-family residence where a 9-year-old child inadvertently asphyxiated themselves in the shower. During a chaotic and emotionally charged scene with hysterical family members, as we can all only imagine, our fire rescue and law enforcement personnel remained focused, and through their life-saving efforts, they successfully revived the 9-year-old child, who is now alive and well. And the hospital confirmed he would not have survived without their rapid response and rendering of life-saving aid and CPR. those staff members will be proudly nominated and recognized for our agency's life-saving award. So I encourage Mr. Freitag or anybody, instead of putting falsehoods out on social media, come see me. Come meet the deputies. Let's talk about, this is just a sampling of all that they do. I have dozens of other cases, how we will continue to provide that excellence in service until it's time that we're not here to provide that any longer. And I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Perfect timing. Thank you, Captain. Who's after Mr. Hamlin? Madam Clerk?
Ms. Monalesco?
Hi, good evening. My name is Steve Hamlin. I'm the Executive Officer for BSO Fire Rescue here in Deerfield. I'd like to take a moment and recognize one of our crews that did an outstanding job on March 19th, 2026. Rescue 102 responded to a 911 call for chest pain. Upon arrival, patient's wife called 911 after her husband began complaining of chest pain and subsequently lost consciousness. Realizing that he had stopped breathing, she immediately initiated CPR, providing critical life-saving care prior to the arrival of emergency responders. Upon arrival, Rescue 102 found the patient in cardiac arrest. He was unresponsive, pulseless, and not breathing. The crews immediately assumed patient care, initiated high-quality CPR, applied cardiac monitoring and defibrillation pads. After several minutes of aggressive resuscitative efforts, including high-quality CPR, the delivery of one defibrillation shock, the patient's heart rhythm converted to a perfusing rhythm, resulting in ROSC, which is the restoration of blood flow. Patient was then moved to the rescue, where provided a more controlled environment, and then the patient was transported to the hospital to North Broward. During that transport, the patient's condition continued to improve. His vital signs stabilized, his cardiac rhythm remained steady, and he began demonstrating signs of neurological recovery by attempting to sit up and making verbal sounds. As a direct result of the rapid actions of his wife, the professional care provided by Rescue 102, and the seamless coordination of the emergency response, the patient made a remarkable recovery. He was ultimately discharged from Broward Health North and walked out of the hospital several days later. We would like to recognize that crew, Lieutenant Robin Martin, firefighter Jacob Calvin, and firefighter Shannon Snell, who are not here this evening, but for their exceptional performance, professionalism, and dedication to duty. Their decisive actions and commitment to excellence directly contributed to saving another life in the city of Deerfield Beach. This incident serves as another example of the outstanding emergency medical care provided every day by the members of BSO's Fire Rescue. Through their training, teamwork, and unwavering commitment to the community, they continue to make a profound difference in the lives of the citizens that we serve. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Madam Clerk, who is next and who's on deck?
And then Mr. Backman?
Hello, Sophia Manolesco, 536 Northeast 20th Avenue, Deerfield Beach. And I'm here to continue our conversation that we were having last time about C11, about changing the height and the variances on the beach. And I wanted to bring to your attention, in case you haven't noticed, but I'm sure you have, on the northeast side, we used to have these tiny little houses that were they were barracks. And they had a lot of land with small houses. And every time one of those houses is sold, there's a fourplex or a duplex that's being built in place. And these are tiny little streets. I could go like this on the 4th and 5th and 6th, and there's not even sidewalks. There's not a lot of space. Now, I understand that the builders are going to do as much as they can with the land they're buying, because those tiny little houses are just not what people want to live in these days. But I think that should really be considered when we're talking about changing the height and changing the zoning, because within a decade, our population on the northeast it's going to more than double. Every time a lot sells, something, 4 families are replacing it. So please, when you're going through the consideration, and I know that there's going to be recommendations to maybe just change the height or shrink the green space, please keep our charter in place. It's in the charter, it's in our constitution for a reason. It's that important to keep that in mind. So thank you.
Thank you. Before Mr. Backman comes, can we close the door to the lobby, please? Mr. Backman, just one moment, please, okay? Have to wait for her to come back. She controls the timer. Okay, go ahead, Mr. Backman. Thank you for your patience. Just
My
name
name
and
is
address for
Spencer
the record.
Backman. Address is 550 Jefferson Drive. I'd like to first thank Commissioner Plout for inviting me here today. He's my commissioner. And thank you, Mayor Drosky, used to be my commissioner. And thank you to the commission for hearing me out. So basically, let me start by saying Broward County, the sheriffs, they're hardworking people. The average officer, it's not their fault that we need to move on as a city. But I think there are some opportunities here and I'd like to address them. First, we have a great transition team. We have a great transition manager. Sean Gladue, Director of Public Safety, is fantastic. And I'm really appreciative. They've done these charrettes. They've met with the public, and we just met with the chiefs. I think that kind of transparency is unique to Deerfield Beach. It's something that most cities don't get, most towns don't get, even major cities don't get that kind of transparency and engagement, and it's very much appreciated. Further, I recognize that Broward has provided our policing for a very long time. But I think there are Deerfield Beach needs and there are Broward needs, and they don't always match up. And while, yes, Broward can provide many of our needs and Deerfield Beach can provide all of our needs, I think we need Deerfield Beach because we can address what we need here. We can address specifically what Deerfield Beach needs when they need it without ceding resources to Broward when we don't have those resources to give. And most importantly, we're a city. Deerfield Beach is our own place. We're not just an unincorporated area. We're one individual city with, if I'm not mistaken, over almost 125 years of being here. We deserve our own department to look over our own needs as we grow in the next few years. I've been here 10 years. I've seen the city grow exponentially. I think it's going to be key. Having our own departments, our own autonomy, our own access to exactly the resources we need and exactly what we need. You know, Broward County deputies can do a lot. But Deerfield Beach Police, who will know the community, know the people individually, know the people they're dealing with on a person-to-person level, because there's no risk they're getting transferred to a different area of the county. They're not going down to Plantation. They're Deerfield Beach deputies here for a career. We'll get the opportunity to get to know them, trust them, build more effective policing with more trust, community engagement, and transparency. And I love the idea of a citizen advisory board of some form overseeing it. I think that's a good way to give citizens one more measure of trust. Now, we could all continue to go on about this, and I won't because I've pretty much said everything I want to say, but I'd like to thank the commission. I'd like to recognize that it must have been a tough decision to come around to. You've taken a lot of heat, and that's not easy. And so I appreciate Commissioner Platt. I appreciate you, Mayor Drosky, and the entire commission for your hard work and careful thought of this whole thing. And I appreciate the leadership team, the transparency, the openness, and the citizen engagement throughout the process. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Backman. Madam Clerk, anyone else sign up this evening?
Mr. Wechterman and then Mr. Koenig.
Okay, Mr. Richterman, come on down. Name and address for the record, please.
Ira Wechterman, 1423 East Hillsborough Boulevard, Deerfield Beach. I'm a relatively new member of the community and I love it. And I'm the founder of the Friends of Deerfield Island Park. And it's a beautiful park and it's going to be a great centerpiece for Deerfield Beach. Part of the reasons that we live here is because it's such a wonderful community. It's open to normal, every time people. It's not high end. It's not over the top. It's not been oversold. As commissioners, you're elected to serve the interest of the community, not for private interests or for your private benefit. Some of the people on the committee that is sending you some recommendations, some of them have private interests, and that has shaded the way they are making recommendations. Your interest is the people of this community, not the builders, not the real estate brokers, not developers. Do not destroy this wonderful community or our beach. We didn't come here to turn it into Pompano or Boca Raton. It's wonderful the way it is. Please don't destroy it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Wechterman. Mr. Koenig, you're next. Madam Clerk, is there anyone else next?
Marcelo and then Ms. Reed.
Tom Koenig, 411 East Hillsborough Boulevard, Deerfield Beach. That's my office. Imagine if the protections of Deerfield Beach's charter provisions Article 11.01 and Article 11.02, and Section 7.092 are removed from the city charter. These three special charter provisions are the only provisions in the entire history of Deerfield Beach where citizens gathered signatures and to get it put on the ballot, and then the voters voted to put it in the city charter. They are to protect against the city commission that oftentimes has not listened to the public. This is a story of how the uniqueness of the beach and the quality of life of the citizens will be lost if by the city taking these charter provisions out of the charter. We can easily imagine how this happens. The average Deerfield Beach citizen, they live lives of normality, such as sitting at the kitchen table after a hard days of work and helping the kids with the homework, or finally relaxing after a long, well-deserved career. While not knowing the specific details, the Deerfield Beach citizen intuitively knows that developers politic and lobby at City Hall. If these provisions are taken out of the charter, it will be the land use development that will control, and with 2 votes of the commission, things can be changed. The Deerfield Beach citizens have seen the harm that overdevelopment has brought to the beaches in Pompano, Boca Raton, and Fort Lauderdale. They have seen efforts over the years to have the beach have 10-story hotels, increased density, increased commercial area, all that would diminish the life of the average citizen and benefit developers. If these charter provisions are gone, the city commission can change a rule or rules concerning the beach area that will result in increased congestion, increased density, and intensity of development, and diminish the quality of life of Deerfield Beach residents and others who use and enjoy the beach. I would suggest to the voters in Deerfield Beach, keep the power, just a little bit more.
No, Mr. Koenig, 3 minutes per person. Wind it down. 10 seconds.
Yeah, I will wind it down.
10 seconds.
Keep the power of the voters to protect the beach by keeping these matters in the charter. Thank you.
Madam Clerk, who's next? You said Marcelo?
Hello?
And after that is-
And then Ms. Reed.
Marcelo Sampaio, 4430 Northeast 3rd Avenue. Since the city duplicates 3rd Avenue, I'm living over there since 2012. On the same days that city duplicate the avenue, 3 accidents occur on that stop sign. In 2018, I was with my family in my backyard.
I'm speaking to the microphone, please.
In 2018, I was with my family in my backyard. Some guy doing over 100 miles an hour crashed into my fence and died on my patio, on my backyard, basically. Last week, another guy crashed over doing 100 miles an hour on the same street. And the ladies in the car was dead. I'm the guy who go to the car and pull this guy out. There is another many accidents happen on that street because there is no way to people obey the speed limit over there. It's nothing make them go slow. The city should do a median landscaping over there because otherwise people will die every month, every year. Just in front of my house, another accident, another car went to the yard. I believe over there for 12 years on the same house. And I don't see any improvement on my neighbor, any at all. The city installed the poles, looks nice, look beautiful. Nobody knows what to do. The fire department cannot get quick to the hospital. The police officers cannot get to our house fast enough because people, they don't know what they do in the street. If you drive over there right now, Mayor, they paint black. The street now is paint black, and you don't know if it's 2 lanes, if it's 1 lane, if you can turn right, if you can turn left, because nobody did the right thing. That's my point of view. Until the city do a landscape meridian over there, people will die every day, and nobody seems to care. Nobody seems to care. I have 2 daughters, I have a wife. Every time we have to go on the street, we are afraid because people are doing 100 miles an hour. This time of the year, there is no school zone. I mean, we'll be off in a few days, right? There is no police officer over there to, control the traffic. Few months ago, I mean, last year, we have a lot of officers over there. They try to, slow down people. This year, I don't see none. None at all. My taxes went up every year. You know that, I can show you every year. $500, $600. Next year, maybe they take another $100 every year. But I don't see any improvement where I live at all. Thank you.
Marcelo, I mean, so it's not back and forth. I am going to refer him to Mr. Power in the back. Wave your hand, please.
Sure.
We're all aware of Third Avenue, so it would be incorrect to say that we're doing nothing and we're not aware of the situation. But this is not the opportunity for that, sir,
I live over
unfortunately.
there. I
But
live over there.
You can call me anytime during the week. Be happy to talk to
I
you. But
never see you on the street.
I'm going to
Matter
refer
of
you
fact,
to
I never
Mr.
see what I live.
Mr. Marcelo, I'm going to refer you to Mr. Power right now. Give him your information and we'll talk. Thank you, Mr. Power. I'm sorry, Madam Clerk, who's next? And is there anyone signed up after her? And by the way, folks, you don't have to sign up to speak. Everyone will be heard that wants to speak tonight. The reason that we ask you to sign up is so that we have your contact information, your email and your address and phone number so that we can follow up with you after the meeting if we need to, so we know how to get in touch with you, but you don't have to. Sorry, Ms. Reed, you're up.
Thank you. I'm going to talk about Third Avenue also. My name's Elena Reed. I live at 4431 Northeast Third Terrace, which is one street parallel to Third Avenue. I have been a resident of this neighborhood for 20 years. I'm here tonight to just say that this isn't acceptable. People are dying on our street. The commission has both the responsibility and the resources to stop it. Northeast Third Avenue has become a cut-through corridor for I-95 traffic. Drivers are using our residential neighborhood as a highway bypass, and they are driving like it is I-95. The fastest speed recorded on this road was 99 miles per hour. 99 miles per hour on a street where children play and families walk their dogs. When the city reconfigured this road during the sewer project many years ago, I called and specifically asked for tree island medians in the center of the road and a roundabout like the medians are on 44th, closer to Dixie. I was told the plan was a 4-lane road. I warned them that this would be a dangerous speeding problem in a residential neighborhood, and nobody listened. Since then, the street has seen at least 5 major crashes, including fatalities. A teenager was killed on the bicycle lane. BSO deputy was hit also at 44th Street. Many cars went into fences and homes. In last week's crash, the person flipped into the fence and sent a 73-year-old man whose van flipped over by a wrong way driver. People do not understand what is going on with the road. I was walking my dogs and the people across the street's dog was loose in the yard, and there was 3 kids, and the dog across the street saw my dog and came running across the street. Car was flying down the road, ran the kid's dog over while we were there. My daughter's 5 or 6 screaming. The kids across the street are screaming. Nobody stopped. A couple years ago, the city painted fish on the ground and put up plastic poles. Drivers ran over the poles. Nobody understood what happened. I called to complain. They told me that that was a temporary solution. apparently now we are waiting on a federal $3.6 million to fix this road, and I guess there was a funding problem because since 2024, still nothing has happened and more people have died. I do remember the quiet 2-lane road that this used to be. Kids used to have a front yard to play in, and their yards got taken away to make this 4-lane drag strip in our neighborhood. My neighbors and I deserve to feel safe in our own neighborhood. We deserve to walk our dogs. Our children deserve not to witness what my daughter witnessed.
You just have to wind it down, please.
Yes, the city's own plan supports the solution. What we need now is action before another crash. Thank you.
I'm going to refer you to Mr. Power in the back, but to you and to Marcelo. I mean, I don't mean to be insensitive because I'm certainly not. We're all very aware of the situation over there, but unfortunately, this is public comment. It's not a back and forth
I
time.
understand.
The back and forth time we can have offline, and there's a lot more information that I'd love to share with both of you.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you.
And Mr. Power can give you, if you can give him your information or he can give you mine, we can make contact during the week. In addition to Commissioner Hudak, who this is his district. Anyone else like to speak during public comment? Ms. Bolowicz, you got to be faster next time, but you'll be next, okay?
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. My name is David Evanowski, 514 Southeast 7th Avenue. And there's two items that I'd like to address the Commission tonight. First, the new storm drains now contain standing water. That we've been on 8th Avenue project. Now we've got standing water. This is a mosquito breeding ground. You cannot go out there at night. We're getting, we had in the past incident of Zika, very serious health problem. So we need to have these drains monitored regularly, possibly treated, to eliminate the larvae that are growing in them. And also I have secondly, we have a proud tree city here. And we've effectively removed the canopy within our neighborhood. My suggestion is, just research royal palm trees. They transpire 17,000 gallons of water a year, each tree. 2,500 trees approximately were removed. Those trees cost about $300 a piece. A 5'6" or 5 or 6 foot royal palm tree, $300. Simple math, $75,000. Would restore the canopy to the community, effectively have continuity, because we've been offered, other items, my neighbor has a crepe myrtle and this one's got a whatever. I said, we need to address this. It will effectively reduce the water table, the mosquito problem. And in the meantime, we need to treat those drains. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. City Manager, if the 8th Ave project is causing standing water, can we look into the mosquito control issue, please? Ms. Bolowicz, your turn.
Hello, thank you. April Bolowicz, 899 Northeast 4th Street. Thank you and good evening, City Commission. We have a lot of ground to cover today, so I'm going to try and make it fast and quick. First, I'd like to thank Commissioners Shanetsky and Hudak and Captain Hofstein for responding so quickly to an email I sent on Sunday. Maybe we've all noticed, I think we've all noticed the growing number of people who gather outside Percy White Library lately. On Monday, I spoke with two of them, and although they don't know each other, both attended Deerfield Beach Elementary School. And it seems like to them and the rest of them there, this library is a safe place. This past weekend near the old Duffy's property, which is right next to my house, one individual was screaming, shouting obscenities, and crashing things right on the wall next to my house. It was frightening enough that my husband began recording while I called 911. It was clear that this person was alone and in crisis. Deerfield Beach Community Cares is a nonprofit in urgent need of homeless counselors and funding. Please, let's all visit DFB communitycares.org to help them help our homeless neighbors. We have a problem we need to help them with. They have problems. We need to help. In the meantime, I hope that we can find compassionate and effective solutions so that our residents don't feel like we're running through a gauntlet just to enter the library or walk to Floyd's. And regarding storm drainage, I recently emailed the commission about flooding concerns. And the email I referred to what some of our old timers residents called the Kingfisher Canal. Apparently that created confusion. It's either been renamed, in many maps it's not named at all. So to avoid confusion, I'm going to refer to it as the 9th Avenue Canal. It runs behind the homes along Northeast 9th Avenue from behind Duffy's to the mouth of the Hillsborough River. During the October heavy rain event, erosion occurred and streets and yards flooded. A palm tree is now at risk of falling into the canal because its roots are now exposed. The dirt's been washed away. Flooding affected multiple properties throughout the neighborhood. Residents would like to know where we can find the city's drainage care plan and what the implementation timeline would be street by street before the next tropical storm. Hurricane season started yesterday. On a different topic regarding the Axis project, our neighborhood remains very concerned that not only about Axis, but also about what comes next for the former Duffy's property. We respectfully ask that the City Commission continue engaging with residents, provide regular updates, and ensure that we have a meaningful voice in the process. We would like to know where these projects currently stand and what the next steps are. And finally, regarding our charter, Section 7, I do not support increasing the public property value cap from $750,000. If a vacant land values are based on property appraiser figures, it's not going to reflect the actual value. And keep Charter Amendment 11 the way it was.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else inside the commission chamber would like to speak this evening on public comment? Mrs. Freitag?
80 Freitag, 418 Southeast 2nd Street. If Sheriff Tony would have given us 1/10 of his energy towards our negotiations, we wouldn't be in this position of getting a new fire department, a new police department. He didn't give a shit. He didn't care. He sent, I'm sorry, his language, I'm sorry. He didn't want to dirty his hands in the negotiations until it was too late. Now he's trying to show us his scare tactics. He's trying to show us that he is the beat-all 100% answer to the life's problems of every single sheriff's department in the country. And we're going to prove to him that he's wrong. We are going to prove to him that Deerfield Beach is going in the right direction with our new chiefs, going in the right direction and making our own departments. It is the best solution for our city at this time. It is going to save us millions, maybe not immediately, but down the line, it is going to save us millions. And we really, I know we've had the charrettes. I know they were not as well attended as we had wanted. We still got to pound the pavement. We got to get out, take the charrettes to the people, take the charrettes to the homeowners association meetings, take the charrettes out of city places, take them to the places where the people are. It's the only way to get people on board and to get them involved and get them knowledgeable so that every time, like me, they get that lovely piece of garbage in the mail and it goes right into the garbage can. Thank you.
Lise Miller-Plotkin, 1998 Northeast 7th Street. I just want to thank Michael Hudak because there were areas along the beach, I don't know if you all know, that were painted brown several years ago. And then they were painted, I call it prison navy blue. You know, I don't know if you know, there were certain walls along the water that were painted these horrible colors. So I wrote a note to Michael Hudak suggesting that the areas be changed to teal blue to match the lifeguard stations and the areas where you have to pay. So now everything matches. Everything is teal and it all looks beautiful. So I really appreciate that you had it repainted, everything up to from the Wyndham all the way to the Embassy Suites. It looks so nice. Thank you.
Vice Mayor painted it himself personally. Okay, no one's rushing the podium, so Madam Clerk will switch to online. Who's the first raised hand and who will be the backup?
Jonathan Onyenjan.
Okay, and that's the only one?
Mhm.
Okay.
Hey, good evening, John
Go ahead,
Ungian.
please.
Yes, good evening, John Ungian. Can you hear
See
me?
if he's unmuted or not.
Am I unmuted? Can you hear me?
We can't hear you, Mr. Onyenjan.
I'm not muted.
Mark Andrew.
That's a different person?
Mhm.
Has his hand up? Okay, so we'll go to Mr. Andrew and then we'll come back to Mr. Ungean. Go ahead, Mr. Andrew.
Mark Andrew, 3800 Crystal Lake Drive. Can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me or no?
It says talking on the screen, but I don't hear him.
Hello,
Mr.
I'm
Andrew?
talking. Yeah. Can you guys hear me or no?
Mr. Andrew, just hold on for a second. We can't hear you.
Hello, can you guys hear me now? Hello? Thank you, Brad.
Just stay patient. We're trying to fix it inside the commission chamber here.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, let's go back. Who's unmuted right now? Mr. Ungean or Mr. Andrew?
Mr. Andrew.
Okay, so we'll go with Mr. Andrew. We'll come back. Mr. Andrew, let's try this again. Go ahead,
Hi.
please.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can. Perfect. Thank you.
Mark
Sorry about
Andrew,
that.
3800 Crystal Lake Drive. Good evening. I want to start by saying I respect the careers and experience of our new chiefs, Chief Daniel from Miami Beach and Chief Chantel from Fort Lauderdale. Welcome. Both of you come from large, established, and very expensive departments. Miami Beach paid about $147 million in 2021 for police, and now they're paying $190 million. That's about 30%. And for Lauderdale, $98 million and $135 million from 21 to now. That's about 38% increase. Million, not 100 millions. So, Chiefs, I hope you have had the opportunity to review our feasibility study and understand, the city's decision to go to their own police and fire department and kind of know what you guys are getting into and why we even left our own fire and police. I don't even know if the commissioners know why we left our own fire and police. Do you guys know? Oh, you guys can't talk right now. Okay. Mr. Wechterman, who spoke earlier, I know you talked a little bit about, the things changing in the city, but I mean, we're going to have to be able to afford our police and fire. So the buildings will be going up like Miami Beach and Fort Lauderdale pretty soon. So, Also, voters will be voting in November to basically decrease the city's budget by $18 million while we're also building a police and fire department. That's kind of crazy. Mr. Gladio, he gets up month after month and he talks, but there's no real numbers in his reporting. Can you also start including the dollars that we are spending for like all of these people for your positions and all of the chiefs and everything and whatever we're buying and what we're paying BSO? Because I don't know. I feel like it's a lot of money. And yeah, the public safety director. What are we gonna do with Sean's position when we have a chief, two chiefs? No city, Miami Beach or Fort Lauderdale has a public safety director to answer to. So what will happen to his position? Is this gonna be like another government body that's overseeing these two departments? I don't think it's necessary. Also, Boynton Beach is looking to leave Palm Beach. I mean, they're looking to go to Palm Beach Fire Department. That's, kind of interesting. I hope you guys are kind of keeping track with that. And Jupiter, we know they just opened their own fire department,
Please
but
wind it
they
down, Mr.
spent
Andrew. Time's up.
a lot of money on their police department.
Okay, thank you. We'll go back to Mr. Ungen, please.
And then Mr. Slattery.
Hello, can you hear me?
We can. Sorry about it earlier. Thank
No
you. though.
problem, no problem. John Ungian, 1938 Northeast Sixth Street. Good evening. So I wanted to just touch on, it's always good to hear from Chief Hostein. He is one of the good ones in BSO. And he does commend all these deputies, as they're called, of the great job they do. We have a lot of people that will either be unemployed in this city doing great jobs, or we can recruit. So I do remember back, and I don't remember because I don't have the information in front of me regarding moving police in a different pension. I'm well aware of how certain governments work, and whether they are part of the state pension. And I'm not sure what the pension system of BSO is. Whether they're part of the state system, I got to imagine probably they are. I don't know if we are, but in terms of retaining or bringing in good qualified people that have history working in places, as I got to imagine that's what the city would want. I would hope that our pension system is reciprocal to potentially theirs, because I am in one of my companies is in staffing, and I got to imagine that there's some people that can be recruited that maybe live close to here, love this community, want to continue to love that community that they work currently. So just a point that I wanted to make, and I hope, is that the framework and the backing of what this city's done is that we can find good people. And I know that pensions are something that law enforcement really cares about. So they don't want to put all their years in a previous job to waste to come here to start at year zero, potentially. And then regarding 11, as people have spoken about, I do live right down the street from Miss Menelescu. I'm sorry if I pronounced her name wrong. But it's not about the single family home that gets knocked down to then build 2 townhomes. It's about the disgusting hotels and motels that the people do want a rate that's not fair, but that would be fair for redevelopment. On 5th Street right here, I don't know if you remember the approval about a year and a half ago of a certain number of units, which I got up and spoke against the fact that the city gives easements in half of the street in terms of the land use of what developers can do. But you may notice that still hasn't come out of the ground because the economics of these things, and the number of units, it's not just about height, it's also about density. And it's about a number of units of it, an acre that can be built, which will then cap height if you keep it really low. But will also stop development of certain areas such as that, where you have
Wind it
2
down,
lots.
please.
So I think there's a lot of educating that the city can do on both Section 11 as to why recommendations such as this are critical. And I hope that you engage and involve the community to bring others along, as I hear that finally people are in this police issue.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Slattery is next.
Hello, John Slattery, 1455 Southeast 5th Place, Deerfield Beach. I'm going to say again, I'm not for or against the move from BSO to city police. I am absolutely for transparency about how this is going to be paid for and funded. I've met with each of the members of the commission, including the mayor, in private office, trying to get answers to this and never received any feedback with anything concrete. I also sent an email over the weekend, and it was addressed also to the CFO, city manager, director of public safety. Gentlemen, given the increasing likelihood of a significant reduction in property tax revenue, I'm writing to inquire again about the city's fiscal strategy. This shift presents a challenge to current spending plans, particularly as ad valorem revenue is projected to account for 41% of Deerfield Beach's general fund revenues for the fiscal year 26 and 27 budgets. I included a link to an article, one of many that have been written lately about city officials being concerned about how they're going to come up with funding. So when I ask you these following questions, it's not about it's not that you're going to pay for them. It's about how are you going to get the money to pay for them. This has not been explained to us in any way, either the main plan or the contingency for a change in property taxes. Could you please share the city's contingency plans for funding the following areas? Municipal police and fire safety, staffing and equipment, expansion of city staff to support these departments, fire station upgrades and the build out of police facilities. In addition, and of course, all required discretionary planned expenditures and projects. Even if these expenses are addressed through bonds and other financing, what is the anticipated impact on these projects to the residents? Additionally, what are the implications for commercial and non-homesteaded property owners? How does this intersect with the Article 11 density and height discussions, the Live Local Act projects, CRA development plans, and future downtown development efforts? I'm also concerned that if property tax revenue growth becomes constrained, city leaders may become even more motivated to approve projects that expand the taxable base and generate alternate revenue streams. That could materially change the political dynamics around development debates that have already been controversial in Deerfield Beach. I would appreciate your transparency. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Slattery. Madam Clerk, is there anyone else online this evening? Okay, last chance for in person inside the commission chamber. Mr. Chansey, come on down.
Joe Chansey, 4250 Northeast 4th Avenue. I'm gonna be brief. Obviously, everybody had spoken about 3rd Ave and Northeast 3rd Ave. I do appreciate Commissioner Hudak. We spoke about this numerous times, and especially the one house that, as mentioned before, like the 4th time that they've had to replace. I appreciate Captain Hallstein for taking the time to call and giving some suggestions. Also with Mr. Gladio as well. So I appreciate them. As you guys can hear, I mean, I'm surprised that they wasn't full of people coming out. The neighbor of mine that was stuck in the car. He wanted to come, but he's still kind of a little traumatized. So he called me, told me he couldn't come, which I understand. But I do want you all to keep that, push everything you guys can do. Obviously, District 1 and District 2 shares 3rd Avenue. You have Taylor Elementary, Crystal Lake, Deerfield High all share that same road to go to school. So please, and thank God it didn't happen around the time school got out. So that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chansey. I think we all share those sentiments. We'll go ahead and close the public hearing then on, the public comment for this evening and move into the consent agreements and expenditure requests this evening, Mr. City Attorney.
Thanks, Mr. Mayor. Items 3 through 6 are currently on consent.
Any comments by the commission on 3, 4, 5, or 6?
Yes, 3.
Commissioner Shinsky, do you want to just pull it or just talk about it?
Talk about it.
Same thing with you, Vice Mayor? Okay. So 3 is for discussion by the commission. Madam Clerk, did anyone sign up on 3, 4, 5, or 6?
No, sir.
Okay, let's just go to public comment, and then if you don't mind, commissioners and Vice Mayor, we'll do them in order. Is anyone in the commission chamber here and present like to speak on items 3, 4, 5, or 6? 3, 4, 5, or 6. Madam Clerk, anyone online?
No, sir.
Okay, so we'll close the public comment to items 3, 4, 5, and 6. And Commissioner Shinsky and Vice Mayor Hudak wanted to talk about item number 3. So Commissioner Shinsky, you had your light on
I'd like
first.
Mike to go first if it's all right. That's his district, please. Thank you.
Vice Mayor, do you mind? I mean,
Not
I
at
called
all.
on him first, but he's deferring to you.
It doesn't matter, believe
Okay.
me. We asked the city to step up to the plate and do something for these residents on 6th, 7th, and 8th Avenue who suffered from the flood. And I'm really, really happy that we were able to get something done. So thank you, Eric. Thank you, City Manager. We're doing everything we can to help the residents on 8th Avenue. And this is a great program that I don't think is any other city. I think we're one of the first cities, if not the first city, to actually come up with a plan to help our residents. And I just think it's a wonderful plan. And I really just want to thank city staff for finding a way to get some funds available to help these residents to protect their homes. So thank you.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Commissioner Shinetsky?
Yes. I'm in support of the plan as well. It's $5,000 rebate that would go to 200, because in the backup, it's 200 homes that would be benefit from this. That's great. 5,200 homes is about $1 million. I went to Peggy Nolan Aquatic Center, so I was in that area, 6th, 7th, and 8th Avenue. So I got an opportunity to speak to some of the residents, and they said basically for the barriers, they're going to be spending between $10,000 to $17,000. $5,000 for a barrier is sort of on the lower end, a little cheaper. So they're going to be spending between 10 to 17,000. So this is a great idea, but it's sort of like a Band-Aid approach. In 5 years, we've had 2 major floodings in that area specifically. What the gentleman had brought up with Dave, and I had spoken to him, it wasn't 2,500 rural palm trees that were taken out, it was 250. So you're right. And we did research, $300 times 250 comes out to about 75,000. Those royal palm trees, they work. They suck up, like he had said, 17,000 gallons of water. They suck it up. So that might be a better investment, something to really look into because it works. For decades, there were royal palm trees there, and they were taken out about 3-4 years ago, and we've had this flooding. I mean, so the other thing is, I mean, it was really catastrophic what happened October of 2025. Has there really been an update? Have we had any another public meeting? Because we're entering hurricane season. Unfortunately, it's going to happen again. I saw myself the standing water. Now, when I went there, it was on a Friday night. It had been warm the whole day. So look down and there's standing water. That water should have moved, it should have evaporated, but it's still there. What worries me, if we have another torrential rainstorm, it will overflow. And again, there'll be flooding. So what I'm asking is if we could have another meeting, a town hall meeting addressing that. And again, seriously consider, it's budget time coming up, seriously consider getting those royal oak palm trees. It will suck up the water. I know they put some sort of vegetation, new vegetation, right on 6th Avenue where Peggy Nolan Aquatic Center is. There were some cones there. It looks really fragile. It doesn't really work. I don't think so. I know the city had outreach to in Boca Raton Greenery. I know they had outreach. It's by Lynn University. It's a nonprofit. They actually have all different types of trees and oak trees. And they're saying, they could definitely help us. They just need the funding. Now, I know originally when those royal oak trees were put up, it was a effort between the city and the community. So funding wise, and it worked. So I'm asking maybe we could do the same thing, especially with budget time coming up. Those royal oak trees work. And also if we could have an update on the effects of that October 2025 flooding, because it really damaged a lot of residents and they're still recovering. So that's what I'm asking.
Thank you, Commissioner. We did the public hearing on this, so Commission?
Motion to approve items 3, 4, 5, and 6.
Second.
Motion approved 3 through 6 by Vice Mayor Hudak, seconded by Commissioner Preston. Madam Clerk, would you call the roll, please?
Commissioner Plaut,
Yes.
Commissioner Preston,
Yes.
Commissioner Shinetsky,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Hudak,
Yes.
Mayor Drosky.
Yes. Mr. City Attorney, item number 7.
Item number 7 is an update regarding public safety transition.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Commission and residents. I'm just going to have the chiefs come down as well, the new transition chief for fire and the new transition chief for police as well. And did want to give you a little bit of an update before Director Gladio introduces them. We did do so far 18 of the charrettes that we had spoken about before. We did them all over the city at different times of day, both morning, afternoons, and evenings. and in all of the districts across the city. We've also been having staff going to the HOA meetings to answer questions if they have any of those. And we've kept on display those charrettes in our public areas as well, so the public can be best informed, as well as putting a lot of that out on social media. We received a little over 200 surveys back from both in-person and online responses to what we had asked residents to complete as they came to those charrette meetings. And we'll be compiling that data. And as soon as that data is all compiled, we'll get that back to the commission and to the public as well. Tomorrow, we have our 19th charrette, which is at the West Deerfield Community Center at 1 p.m. And again, that's another opportunity that for people who couldn't make it at 6 tonight, they could also, if they're perhaps working at this time of the day, but if they have availability tomorrow to meet the two transition chiefs as well, they'll have the opportunity to do that tomorrow at 1 p.m. at West Deerfield Community Center when we have a charrette out there as well. Public can have some of their questions answered. So I encourage everybody to do that. It was very positive. We had a lobby full of people that came tonight to meet various directors and also the new chiefs, which was wonderful expression from the community to come out and to get to know them. And I know they appreciated that as well in their comments to me. So I will turn it over to Director Gladio to introduce Chantel Botting and Daniel Morgallo as our new chiefs.
Thank you, Mr. City Manager. Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners, Mr. City Manager, Mr. City Attorney, and members of our Deerfield Beach community. For the record, Sean Gladio, the Director of the Office of Public Safety. I'd like to just second the comments by the City Manager. The turnout this evening for our transitional fire chief and our transitional police chief was absolutely heartwarming. The community was engaged. They asked them some tough questions, and they stood there and they answered those questions like a true professional. And it was just great to see the community continue to embrace and engage this process. So thank you from me to you. It is my distinct honor and privilege to introduce to the commission and to the residents of the city of Deerfield Beach our transitional fire and police chiefs. Transitional Chief Chantal Botting, her fire service career spans more than 3 decades, more than 30 years, beginning in 1996 with the Fort Lauderdale Fire and Rescue Department. It's one of the region's largest and most demanding fire service agencies. What sets Chief Botting apart is not just her longevity, but the breadth and the depth of her service. She has worn every operational rank from driver engineer to lieutenant to captain to battalion chief, division chief, and most recently, deputy fire chief. And during a transitional phase within her own department where they were searching for their new fire chief, she was selected by her commission to be the interim fire chief. So without further ado, our transitional fire chief, Ms. Chantal Botting.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commission, City Manager, City Attorney, and Deerfield Beach residents. My name is Chantal Botting, and I am humbled and honored to be your transitional fire chief for Deerfield Beach. I am extremely excited for what the future holds. I provide and will make sure that I collaborate, that I listen, and that I provide transparency. It is such an exciting time for us to move forward and give you the fire rescue department that you so deserve and that you need. And I'm here for any questions.
Any questions by my colleagues? 1996 doesn't seem a long time ago until you do the math. So
listen.
Commissioner Preston, you had your light on first.
Yes. I don't have any questions, but Ms. Botting, it's a pleasure to have you here. Just want to welcome you to our city. We have an opportunity here now with, and I mean the residents, of how we start this process. We can hear her credentials and we can all be impressed. But we all have a say in this, and that is, how do we initially serve them? If we serve the interim chief for our fire department and our police department the way we can as residents and the way that we should as residents, then the expectation should be high that that service that we give to them first will be duplicated, because they become a reflection of us. And so thank you for giving us the opportunity to serve you. And I would say the same things to our interim police chief, but thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Shinetsky?
Sure. All right, I'm addressing this to public safety, and it affects fire as well. I went to the Memorial Day gathering that we had, and we honored our, veterans. Some of them lost their lives. So on that day, I wanted to also go over to our first responders and our fire personnel who also put their lives on the line. I wanted to go over there and honor them as well. So I went over to Station 102 to say thank you to our personnel. I mean, fires, first responders, catastrophes, they're the people that are out there. So when I went there, I just want to bring this up. The present chief of fire and the executive director of fire and first responder, who for 15 months during this transition, they're going to be handling the safety of Deerfield Beach and the residents. I saw for myself, their offices were, I would say 9 by 9. It sort of looked like a broom closet, no windows. And again, this is the chief of police for Deerfield Beach now, that they're operational. They're handling the fire, they're handling the first responder, and his executive director. So my question is, we have 15 months to go. 15 months is a lifetime. Why was this made now, this move? And all right, well, my other question is this, and this, I saw a room where there are 6 fire inspectors and 1 administrative personnel. It was a little bit larger room than the 9 by 9, but they're in one little room with no cubicles. I mean, and fire inspectors are dealing with very sensitive information. So I had to comment, I had to bring that up. That's number one, because I think that's important, because for 15 months, these personnel are going to be handling the safety of Deerfield Beach now. And that's what I care about now. The other thing that I want to bring up, on last commission meeting we had, we gave a certificate of recognition to Captain Donning from the CETO Fort Lauderdale for his efforts with a vessel fire at the Cove. And that's great. I'm glad. But please, it was a teamwork. It was a collaborative effort. Station 4, Deerfield Beach Station 4, put out the fire. They were there before. They put out the fire. They evacuated the restaurants so that nobody was injured. And yet there was no recognition at all for, our staff at Station Fire 4, as well as Boca Raton was there in Fort Lauderdale. But again, there was no recognition. I don't think that's right. And on behalf of the city, I want to say thank you, because it could have been a lot worse when they had that 40-foot fire on the boat. So I think it's very important to still, I don't care if it's 11:59 on September 30th, 2027. I think it's important we acknowledge the people, whether it's transition or present, that are doing the job. And I want to say on behalf of the city, thank you very much. And I really feel that this was important to bring up these items. Thank you.
Chief Botting, that's obviously not for you to respond to, but thank you for listening. Vice Mayor Hudak?
Talk about inappropriate timing, sir. You have comments, you have time for your comments. You can bring those up. We're here to talk about a new police chief and a new fire chief. We're not here to talk about office space. We're not here to talk about who needs to get credit for this or who needs to get credit for that. This is a great time in this city. And for you to keep poo-pooing on it, it's getting irritating. It really is. Either get on the program or go on your own path. but this is a little ridiculous.
I'm
Commissioner
sorry
Shinesky?
you're.
No,
okay,
no, I'm
Commissioner
sorry.
Shinesky? Commissioner Shinesky?
Mr. Shinesky, we
Vice
sat
Mayor
and we
Hudak
listened
has
to
the
your
floor.
crap for 20 minutes now. Now it's my turn to talk. Thank you.
Sure. Okay.
Okay. A police chief doesn't do the job in an office. A fire chief doesn't do their job in an office. We have done nothing but respect the men and women who protect this city for 35 years. Not one person on this dais has said anything bad about our current police chief or the men and women who take care of this city, whether they're police or fire. They do a tremendous job. Everybody, every resident in this city, everybody on this dais has complete respect for the job that they do, whether it was before this transition or during this transition. A lot of this crap that's going on is coming from the sheriff. And now our police chief and our fire chief have to defend the men and women who've been protecting us. And that's a fallout from all of the crap that's happening down from Broward Boulevard.
Have you?
These
have you gone to
individuals here,
102?
Commissioner,
All right,
Commissioner
sir,
Shinesky.
I have been to 102.
Commissioner Shinesky, you are.
I
out
have
of
been to
order.
102. I understand it's a challenge. A lot of our fire stations are a challenge, but this is not the time to talk about that.
It's your opinion. I respect.
No,
that.
it's not my opinion. That's the way it is.
I respect that.
Chief, thank you so much for coming. Individuals come to work for an employer, not just for the money, but for the leadership. And everybody that I've talked to that knows this chief has commended her. Every single one. And I'm just talking about residents. I'm talking about fire chiefs. I'm talking about police chiefs in not only in Fort Lauderdale, but all of the other cities around here. They have nothing but complete respect for you. They have nothing but gracious and great things to say about you. And I was at an event 20 minutes before our commission meeting today, and the fire chief down there and the police chief down there just rave about you. I was at an event earlier this morning at another city, and the fire chief there and the police chief there just rave about you, and we are so proud to have you with us. So thank you so much. And I know that the men and women that you hired to protect our city are going to be so thankful for your leadership. So I want to thank you so, so much, and welcome.
Thank you, Chief Botting. Mr. Gladio.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Now it's my distinct honor and privilege to introduce to the commission and to the residents of the city of Deerfield Beach, our transitional police chief. Transitional Police Chief Daniel Morgallo, or as he likes to be called, Danny, brings also more than 30 years of public safety experience. He began his career in 1994 with the Florida Department of Corrections, followed by service as a canine handler with the Sweetwater Police Department. In 1999, he joined the Miami Beach Police Department and rose through the ranks and led critical functions across patrol, criminal investigations, internal affairs, and training. He commanded the hostage negotiation team and the mobile field force. It is my distinct privilege and honor to introduce to you Transitional Police Chief Daniel Morgallo.
Welcome, Danny.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Mr. Vice Mayor, Commissioners, Madam Clerk, Mr. Manager, and residents and visitors to the city of Deerfield Beach. It is my distinct honor to serve this community as the transitional police chief and have the honor bestowed upon me to be able to build a police department from the ground up. Thank you for the confidence in me and my ability to be able to put together the team that the city of Deerfield Beach wants to develop this police department. My commitment to every member of this community is that we will build a police department that is fair, that is transparent, that serves the community, that listens to the community, and that provides law enforcement services professionally to this community. Every neighborhood in this community, every resident and business owner in this community. Thank you again for the opportunity to be here, and I'm available to answer any questions that you may have.
Sorry. Commissioner Preston, you had your light on first.
Thank you, sir. First, IT, I'm getting, some responses from some of the residents that they can't see the, the introduction. I don't know what, that's good. Okay. They said they couldn't see them, but I hope you were listening, when I was speaking to, the fire chief. And the same to you, sir. The question more appropriately would be put forward, how can we help you to bring forth the vision that you have for this city? To be given the honor to serve the citizens of Deerfield Beach is special. The expectations I know are going to be high. Every resident that pay taxes deserve to know what that vision is and to know how that you're going to execute that and how they can be proud of it. The success of this is not just a set of policies. The success of it is that the citizens of Deerfield Beach, along with those that have been hired to create an experience for all of our residents, starting from the beach all the way over to the city limits, and from the backward part of the city limits all the way back over to the beach. That's how we do it. It's going to be everybody working together. And if we do it right, we have an opportunity here for everybody to be proud, not just one part of our community, but everybody. And that is important. There are going to be a multiplicity of challenges for both you and the fire chief. It is our hope that you will come to us, whatever is not there that we might be able to help, because this is not just an experience in hiring, but this is an experiment for a lot of us. Will it work? Will it work? But I don't put that onus on just you and the fire chief. It's on all of us. If you want this to work, citizens of Deerfield Beach, then we got to help them. We have to give them the resources that they need. And we have to, most of all, believe in their ability to get it done for our city. So, sir, we welcome you. I'm a little bit partial. I was a firefighter. Okay. I'm a little bit on the other side. I mean, I think it's something unique when everybody's running out of the building and you're running in. I think that's good. But sir, thank you. Thank you for giving the city of Deerfield Beach an opportunity. And I hope that all of our residents will get on board and make this great. We got an opportunity here to do it if we all do it together, And I also want to thank the city manager's office, because I asked for this moment for you guys to come forth. I asked for you to come forth, but I knew the greeting part of just meet the chief, but I wanted you to formally introduce yourself to the city of Deerfield Beach. So I want to thank you, Mr. Gladio. Thank you, Mr. City Manager, for allowing this moment. But let us not squander this moment. Let us not squander this moment. With the hires that you guys will bring into the city, may it be a blessing to all of us. So thank you for giving us that opportunity.
Thank you, sir. Absolutely. Thank you, Commissioner Preston. Commissioner Shinesky?
Thank you. I have some numbers, and this is coming from Broward League of City. It was forwarded to Marty Kia, who's a Broward County property appraiser. And this is concerning, it was voted on today that the property tax for the 250,000 homestead exemption will be put to a vote in November, so we could lose that. So I'm just going to give out some numbers. The property tax revenue for Deerfield Beach, because Marty, when he sent it to the commission and we all got it, we saw each city. So they said in Deerfield Beach, the property tax revenue is 68,200,000. We're going to lose 18% of that property tax revenue, 18%. That's a significant amount. He also said, he forecasts that there won't be any pay raises in the future for public safety personnel. So I just want to make people aware of that, especially if this gets passed in November. It's going to take a significant chunk out of money that the cities will get, but I gave these numbers are specifically for Deerfield Beach. So that's why I'm very cautious. I'm very worried. The other thing I want to bring up that I want to make aware, I had heard that the other departments were told to take, or maybe to look for a possible 8% cut in their budget. So I just want to make sure we're really able to balance this so we will have coverage and we're not cut short. Just wanted to bring that up. I think the people deserve to know that.
Before Vice Mayor Hudak is next, Commissioner Shinesky, please stop scaring the residents. Stop it. Stop it.
Making them aware.
Stop
I'm
it.
not
I have the
scaring.
floor now. You are done. You are scaring the residents and we know which side you're on and we know who's,
I'm on the
and we
people's
know
side.
you are not, and we
I'm on
know
the
who you
people's
are
side.
kowtowing to, and you need
I'm
to
on the
stop it.
people's
I
side.
have the floor. You need to stop because
I'm on the
you
people's
are
side.
you are kowtowing to somebody and we absolutely know who it is, and you are scaring the residents on purpose because it's a red herring issue. What's happening in Tallahassee with the property tax issue, whether with BSO or we're on our own, we're going to have the same cut in taxes and to deal with the same pot of money. We're actually saving money by going on our own so that we have control over those dollars going forward. That's why we made this decision. So what happens in Tallahassee in the vote in November has no issue on this whatsoever. We're going to be in the same boat. Now, what dollars we allocate to it? Sure, yes. But to say or to imply that what happens in Tallahassee is putting a hit on the city and our public safety, or that the residents somehow are going to be compromised, is absolutely 100% false. You will be protected better under our own police and fire departments with Chief Bodding and Chief Danny going forward. And so the narrative going forward that somehow we're going to be worse off than we are going forward is just completely false. And I just needed to correct that. So Commissioner Hudak, I'm sorry to jump into your time, but go ahead.
No, do I get my 3 minutes? First of all, Chief, welcome. As Commissioner Preston said, you have some huge shoes to fill. Okay? Chief Schnackenberg and the staff he put together did an outstanding job. Chief Brimlow and the staff he put together, even better job. Adam Hofstein, Chief Hofstein, and the people that work for him are outstanding. This city has been blessed with 3 tremendous chiefs that I'm aware of. And they have set the bar so high between the community policing, between the communication with commission and our residents. That's why you see some of the pushback, because of the leadership that has been in Deerfield Beach in that office for a number of years. So they have set the bar so high. The individuals love to come work for Deerfield Beach. It's not because of money. It's because of the loyalty that the chief shows his and her staff, and the ability to work in this city, because this is such a great city. We have tremendous residents, and so they have really set the bar high. Your credentials are impeccable. Our interaction and the interactions that I've heard from you, we're blessed again to have a tremendous leader in yourself. And I've spent 35 years in human resources, so I know that people hire like-minded individuals. It's just a bias that you have. And I know, based on who you are and what I know about you, that you're going to hire some tremendous individuals to protect our city. And I know that the bar has been set high, and our residents are going to come talk to all of us if that bar is lowered. And I know it's not going to be, because we're not going to stand for it, and you're not going to stand for it. And the gentleman over there, our city manager, who helped build this department for years, is not going to stand for it. And I know that between him and Mr. Gladio, they've hired a tremendous individual. And I know that our residents are going to be safe. I know that they're going to be protected. And I know when this is over and done, they're going to be extremely proud of the men and the women who take care of them and protect them. And it's all going to be a reflection on you. So I want to thank you very, very much, sir.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Mr. Gladio, do you have anything further to add? I think we've kind of covered it tonight.
I think that is just a fitting ending, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate the robust discussion tonight, gentlemen. Mr. City Attorney, comments by administration and legal.
One brief comment tonight from legal, and that is, as mentioned, you did hear that the tax reform measures were adopted in the special session of the Florida Legislature today. So I know that I'll be working with the city manager's office as well, and we'll be providing further updates and briefings in the near future. And I believe the manager has some updates.
And because of the significance of the Third Avenue issues that we've seen, I'm going to ask Deputy City Manager Eric Powers to come down to talk to you about the status of that and what we've been dealing with on some of the issues there.
Thank you very, very much.
Mr. Power, come on down.
Good evening, Eric Power, Deputy City Manager, City of Deerfield Beach. Yes, so I do want to recognize and address, obviously, we had a tragedy that occurred last week on Northeast 3rd Avenue. And as far as a timeline of what has occurred in that situation. So Northeast 3rd Avenue was once a two-way residential road. And it was widened by Broward County, not the city of Deerfield Beach, to a four-way road around the 2015, 2016 timeframe. The area had become incorporated into the city, but the roadways were still owned and maintained by Broward County at that time. And it was done as a widening project specifically to address alleviating traffic from the highway. If there was a crash on 95 or something of that example, people would be coming off of the road to utilizing another north-south roadway. Back in 2019, due to multiple complaints that we were receiving from residents, we applied for a grant opportunity that MPO is having called the Be Tactical program. And in 2020, we were awarded that. Of course, that was COVID year, if most remember. We had 5 public meetings at that time, all of which were virtual as well as in person. We walked the road. We heard from, all the residents about the issues. And we determined to create a process, a temporary project, for that road to reduce the size of it, to allow for a pedestrian bike lane and a 2-lane road, essentially going back to that. It's a 3-lane road because now you can go left and use that middle lane for going left, but essentially it did reduce that, and that happened in the eve of 2021. And we saw a significant reduction in speeding and serious crashes in that time frame. We applied for funding for the permanent improvements for this roadway in 21, 22, 23, and 24. We were denied in those years, but in 2024, we were awarded a grant from the federal government in the amount of $3.6 million to approve that road. Unfortunately, we had some setbacks. In August of 2025, the governor's office of the state of Florida declared that no artwork may be on any roadway for any reason, and the city was forced to paint over all the artwork and decorative crosswalks. In January of 2024, the city was informed that federal grant funding would be frozen. In January 25, I apologize. We only just recently have been in talks with the federal government, who had assured us that due to a lawsuit against the current administration, that the grant funding would be back in session. So we recently had a meeting about mid-May, so about 2 weeks ago, in which they've told us that we've resubmitted the application to meet the current standards for the current administration, removing some of the language that was required in the past administration, and that we should be receiving funding later this summer. So we're still hopeful and expected that we will be receiving that. Upon receiving it, because the design plans that we had are now almost 6 years old, they will have to be redesigned by an engineer. So we will have to hire an engineer to review and plans and make sure that they meet the current standards. Just like any other time we've ever had a meeting about a roadway improvement, there's got to be a public meeting. There's got to be input from the residents, say from what they want, and then upon that and approval from commission for the road work, we would then hire a contractor to do that construction. And we expect that the entire length of construction will be about a year. I can tell you that right now, we've already determined that we are going to have another meeting with Broward County Traffic to discuss them any additional temporary improvements that we can do right now. We've had struggle to do any other improvements to the roadway due to the governor's orders. So in order for us, basically, we've been told in order for us to do anything, we have to bring it back to the standards that it was before. And we already know that that was more dangerous than it is currently, even though we did have a tragedy this last week. So that is the timeline over essentially the past 6 years for this roadway project. Like I said, we've had some setbacks, but the city, and I know many members on this dais have been involved with the improvements that we've been doing for this roadway, and that we're still committed to making these improvements to this road.
Thank you, Mr. Power. Before I call you Vice Mayor, Mr. Power, I just want to go over again some of the history just to make sure that it's very clear going forward. Is one, it was the county that expanded the roadway from 2 to 4 lanes, not the city of Deerfield Beach.
Correct.
The city of Deerfield Beach, we applied for when we received, and I think we received the very first, if I recall, B Tactical
That's
grant
correct.
in the entire county to do the delineator poles and the painting that was on Third Avenue. And in fact, Commissioner Hudak and I were both out there painting on that particular day. I remember it very well. But however, because of the issue that really came out of the LGBTQ issue with the governor's office, that painting over the artwork in the streets, that it basically carried over to our project as well. So we had to paint over that. And it was after we received the funding to put in the project that was for a temporary project, because we were the very first one. So it was temporary to see how it would work, and it worked. And then we applied for permanent funding and we were denied for the local grant, as I'll
Right,
call it.
for the
We were-
MPO grant, right?
So we were denied for the local grant, the MPO, which nobody knows but us what that stands for. So the local grant was denied. Then we applied for the federal grant, which we received, but due to funding issues with the current administration, that was put on hold until recent. It was 2024 we were granted, but now in 2026 is when we're actually hopefully going to receive the funds, because the funds were on hold due to a lawsuit that was decided against the administration. So that's, I just want to make sure that it's very clear that, so when the resident spoke earlier that the city wasn't doing anything, that is incorrect, that we're doing everything that we possibly can for that particular area, but for some of the stumbling blocks to not our doing that came in the way. But the 3.6 million federal grant that we're getting certainly is going to apply to this area as we go forward. Did I kind of get that close?
Absolutely correct, 100%.
Okay, just making sure going forward. So the residents that were here and that may be listening, and that I have received emails, and I'm sure my colleagues have received them as well, and reached out, that we are doing what we can under the circumstances to address this particular area. We are not turning a blind eye at all to that particular area. Vice Mayor Hudak.
Thank you. Thanks for the synopsis and the recap and all that stuff. I think that's wonderful. I know we had talked earlier about the possibility of applying for a red light in that area. I know we've done it on numerous occasions. Again, after this fatality, maybe, I don't know if it's the county or FDOT.
We
that
do
has
have to get approval from the county, as it is a local road. And again, I've asked for any option on the table with our communication with the county.
Okay, a couple of things. First of all, I know we had to paint over the colors black. So like the resident said, now individuals don't know, is this a road? Is this a side street? Can we put some stripes in there or something so people know that it's not a road? It's actually a painted over fish. So if we could do something like that, at least that'll kind of reduce the confusion. The other thing that I need to bring up is that we had all met with the MPO over the 10th Street project, and 48th Street Bridge, they're going to have construction. It's going to be a year. This road is going to be the detour. So that's going to increase the traffic on this road. It's going to increase. We've got to figure something. We can't wait 6 years for funding. And I mean, what is it that we can do at a local level to try to be, it's going to be a mess. And this isn't unfortunately, this isn't the last fatality that's going to happen. And we all know, we all drive the road. As soon as you turn on sample, it looks like you can go until you get to 48th Street. And then all cause you going 100 miles an hour, that stop sign comes right there. And of course, that's what happens. So I don't know what we can do. Speed bumps. I know there's ambulances there that we got to worry about. I don't know if there any traffic calming that we can do on that road because, you know, when this is a detour now, you're gonna, I don't know how many more trips are gonna be on that road that more potential. And now you're talking about people who aren't familiar with that road. So they're gonna, oh, I got all the way from here to 48th. So whatever we can do from a local standpoint until the funds are available, until the redesign is done, and bada. I know government takes forever. Please, let's look into whatever we can do.
Absolutely.
Thank
I
you, sir.
just want to, for clarification for you and for the residents, so Deerfield Beach, just like every other city in Broward County, has an ILA with Broward County to essentially maintain our roadways, our local roadways. So when we want to make an improvement, we actually have to get approval from Broward County to do so. So that's why we'll be meeting with Broward County to, and again, to every option on the table. You brought up some great points. We'll certainly include those as solutions, just to figure out exactly what we can do. But that's why we have to meet with Broward County to get their approval.
Yeah, whatever, and if there's anything we could, you know, I know we got $3.6 million coming, but what can we do now? Before I got elected, when I was running for office the first time, this road, myself and Joe, who talked earlier, that was our first conversation was about this road. And we were able to at least get that flashing black stop sign and that was going through hoops just to get that because that stop sign had been destroyed so many times by people going through it. And then we had the branches that were overhead that you couldn't see it from a mile away. So whatever we can do, please. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Power. Mr. City Attorney, did you have anything else in your comments?
Nothing further from myself or the manager. We are on item number 8, which is the discussion regarding city commission welcome signs.
Commissioner Preston, this has your name on it.
It does. It is my pleasure to talk with my colleagues about this. I have made some revisions in this, and I initially wanted this to be a statement from our residents to say that anyone that would come within the city is welcome. And so initially it was the city, the city of Deerfield Beach Commission welcomes you. I've changed that to our city commission welcomes you. And I did that because it becomes more of a statement from the residents, our city commission, referring to leadership, that if you drive in the city of Deerfield Beach, or if you're coming in, you are welcome in the city. And here are some of the renderings that I have. The only thing that I would say is that I would like the word "our" to be bigger, and actually the city commission a little smaller, and welcome bigger. Our city commission welcomes you to the city of Deerfield Beach. And my colleagues like to talk about it. I'm like to answer any questions.
Commissioner Shinetsky?
Sure. I think it's a great idea, and I'm definitely in support of it, but I like to go one step further. I mean, they're great. The signs look great, welcoming. I think that's wonderful. But I think what's also very important with a sign is information. So I feel that somehow there should be some sort of room to put important information about Deerfield Beach. Like, for instance, when is the next city commission meeting? So you have these signs welcoming, but also, hey, the next city commission meeting is whatever, June 14th, you're welcome. So I think that's important. Also, we had charter revision. We had it for 6 months. And maybe if we would have had, the next charter revision meeting, or please go to your charter revision meeting, I think that's important information for people to know. Also, the municipal election. Now, this is what I hear. I hear a lot of people complain that said, I don't even know when the elections are. When is the municipal election that would elect the commissioners and the mayor? So I think on these signs, it's very important to put, the next municipal election is March, whatever. So it's very important, welcoming, but I think it's very, very important to have information because a lot of times people don't go to the internet and a lot of times they don't go to Bucky Graham and a lot of times they don't get on mailings. So I think if this could be another avenue to get very important information out to people coming in and out of Deerfield Beach. So I think we should put that information on these signs as well. I think that's an excellent investment.
Before I call on Vice Mayor Hudak, Commissioner Preston, did you want to comment or was that your intent?
It was, I think it's a good thing that my colleague think that this overall is a good idea, but this does not provide the platform of that type of communication to be able to do that. On a digital board, perhaps that would be more appropriate, something that this commission could consider, but this is just simply for anybody that's coming in the city of Deerfield Beach, a welcoming mat. And it's a way of saying that the citizens of Deerfield Beach, our city commission welcomes you. The leadership of of the Deerfield Beach welcomes you into the city, and that's its intent and its only intent. Now, if we want to do a better job of getting some information out there, you need to think about how we would do that. But on this little sign, if we were to put all of that information on this sign, it would kill it. Yeah. So that's about.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner, Vice Mayor Hudak?
Thank you. I believe that during the Southwest 10th Street project, the MPO is going to be putting these digital signs throughout the city to update the residents on evacuations, and then they can also incorporate important information as we need it. Am I correct in that, Mr. City
Yeah,
Manager?
you're correct that they're going to have safety signage that will assist motorists with traffic issues or anything like accidents that might be ahead or any other detour type information. But they're typically for safety information.
Okay, it's
Safety
more-
related information.
Okay. And I know that the new renderings for the city hall, they're going to have electronic signs as well for new commission meetings and stuff like that, if that gets all approved and all of that stuff.
And some of the signs currently do rotate through that information. For example, the one at Hillsborough and Federal will also, and includes information about some of our social media accounts as well. And on 10th, the new ones that are coming in will also be able to provide that information.
Okay.
In a digital format.
Okay, yeah, because I understand Commissioner Shinesky's point. Information is important and not everybody goes to the internet. Not everybody, looks at the Bucky Graham and all that. We do have to find ways to reach our residents. We have to find new ways and better ways to make sure that our residents are aware of things that are happening in the city, whether it's a chamber or a city meeting or, meet the sheriffs or whatever, meet the chiefs, whatever the case may be.
And realizing, Vice Mayor, that there are some locations where the easements are all different sizes and configurations, and we have to count for other road signs and things that might be in the area. So many of the places are not amenable to digital signboards.
Right.
But these kinds of signs that Commissioner Preston has brought before you have a little bit more flexibility in where they can be placed.
Right, okay. And now I'm going to go back to the signs. First of all, we worked very, very hard in order to get a palette for the city as far as the colors. I mean, we've got it on the flag. I even proposed it for the police uniforms and all that. So I would love to see us maintain the palette of the city throughout the entire city. We had some, Ella was talking about how the beach, we had brown there, we had blue there, and I still hear Rebecca screaming in my ear. When I got my new business cards, I'm like, oh, this is darker than it should be. I'm in trouble. So, great concept, great idea. Personally, I like the lower left one. But I'd love to see us stick with the city of Deerfield Beach palette. Because I think we need to, that's our identity, and I'd love to see us stick with that identity.
We can do a different mock-up but these were for ease of view because of the blue contrasting with the white on here.
Got it. Commissioner Schnetsky, do you want to speak again?
Yes, please. Well, first of all, digital signs are a lot more money, so we have to make do with what we got. Now, 80 years ago, when I used to go to Ebbets Field to see the Brooklyn Dodgers play, there used to be a sign. It was like, hit the sign, win a free suit. And it was Abe Stark. He had a clothing store. Well, from that sign, Abe Stark was so well known in Brooklyn that he won the Brooklyn Borough Presidency for, I think, 20 years. And he also he was also council president from that one sign. People saw a sign, Abe Stark. Oh, I know who he is. So never underestimate the power of a sign. I know these are small, but it could be an addendum put to it. Again, I feel it's so critical to have information, even, the next city commission meeting, give the date, give a phone number. The next municipal election is coming up. Give a date. I think this will get information out to people, and I think that's very critical. So I'm in favor of the sign, but I also think we could also put that additional information, or we could at least look into it.
Thank you, Commissioner Plow.
Thank you, Mayor. Commissioner Preston, I'm interested in this. I'm open for it. I like the map. So the 13 signs. So you took some time to see how to get in the city. Maybe a few more ways than I use. But there's several different ways to get in the city. One of the things that I've always liked that the city does, and maybe people don't even notice it, but we put deer at a lot of different entrances. Sometimes they're entrances to a community, like there's one in Deer Creek. When I leave the city to go to Coconut Creek on 48th and I go west, there's one up on the top of the bridge over the turnpike. So I like the idea of that, promoting our emblem and having that deer. In fact, I was going to drive around sometime because I had to look at some other things, and I really wonder how many deer we actually have out there. I think it's kind of cool. It would be nice to have a sign like this, but I realize the logistics of information. I know that the sign that we have on Hillsborough on the southeast corner as you're going to the beach, it's kind of a busy sign. Maybe for older people, it's hard to drive and read a sign. It's a very busy sign. It has a lot of information on it. I would rather read it while I was walking, to be honest with you. So I'm not too, and I know we're going to have one down on 10th Street as well, going across Dixie Highway. So that's a great thing. Maybe it's better for a passenger to read it. But this is a basic sign which says to me it's inexpensive. It's an idea that can be put forward, but there's no way that you can go out there and keep posting all these different signs with different things that have an end date or something that's coming up next week. This is just a basic message. It lets people know that we have a city commission. I know being involved in the Broward League of Cities and the Florida League of Cities, not everybody's a city. There's villages and there's townships. And I think city is impressive because that takes care of, it gives the impression that it is what it is. We're a large city. We're not a village. There's some folks that I attend meetings with and I ask their population and they might say, well, we have 3,000 people or something like that. So I initially like the idea of this, and but I think I don't know. People go on social media, and I don't think that we can keep changing signs all the time to get all these different messages up. I talk about Bucky Graham all the time. I mean, everybody has email these days, and every week somebody tells me, "Oh, geez, I wish I'd have known about that event." I mean, if you have email, that's the easiest way to figure out what's going on in this city. And we got Facebook and Instagram as well. But the email is something that you can incorporate with your everyday life and your business. You can make it be your business email, you know? Before I retired, first thing I'd do was I'd look at my business email. I might have the Bucky Graham sent to my office, you know? So that's all I wanted to say about it. I am open to the idea, but that's going to be a basic sign. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Preston, the second page with the locations, some are in white and some are in yellow. Is there a difference or significance to that?
I can answer that question.
Okay, go ahead.
That's possible. Sorry. Eric Power, Deputy City Manager. The white circles, every circle indicates a major entrance exit into the city. While there are obviously many, many entrances into the city, these are the major entrances. The white circles indicate monument signs that currently exist, and the yellow circles indicate areas in which we don't have any indication that this is the city for a few different reasons. But the number one reason is essentially we don't have the right of way. It's not ours. It could be, for example, along the FEC corridor. It's not our right of way. It's the FEC's, along military. Unfortunately, there's no median wide enough to put a sign in. So the concept that is in the first slide is essentially a single post sign in which we could potentially install that particular type of sign in those highlighted yellow areas and potentially other entrances in the city that are smaller, not indicated on the map.
So the 8 white ones, we could do something with.
Well, we currently have a monument sign there. And as far as the structure, if you go to the next page, next slide, you'll see our traditional monument sign that we have.
Correct.
So those, when you go back, those in white, those are where those particular signs are.
But the ones in yellow is not a given. We may have issues.
Right. So
You've identified the major entry point or exit point, but there may be an issue as to putting something in the yellow locations.
Correct. And that's why the single post sign might be a good idea for us because it's so minimal.
Okay, understood. So I assume, Mr. City Manager, since we're right on the verge of budget season, that this will be part of the discussion, what these 8 to 13 possible signs will cost as part of the budget. We'll get into that. That's why I'm assuming that's why it's a discussion and action item tonight, so we can get that additional information in the next
Yes,
month.
it's one of the items I'll be discussing individually with each of you, but it would be a budget item depending on what configuration of signage and where, how many and all of that that the commission would want.
Okay.
But yes.
All right. Very good. I look forward to that. No problem. Good. Thank you, Commissioner. Okay, I guess that brings us to Mr. City Attorney, item number 9.
Item number 9 is a resolution of the City Commission of the City of Deerfield Beach, Florida, authorizing the conflict resolution procedures of Chapter 164 Florida statutes to the extent required prior to initiating court action regarding actions of the Broward Sheriff's Office related to the transition of police and fire rescue services to the City of Deerfield Beach Police and Fire Departments, retaining outside counsel to represent the city regarding the dispute with BSO and in the Chapter 164 process to the extent required, and to take all necessary actions to enforce the contractual provisions, including but not limited to filing litigation against BSO and pursuing such other lawful remedies to protect the health, safety, and welfare of the residents of the city, providing for severability, implementation, and an effective date.
Thank you, Mr. City Attorney. Mr. City Manager, before we start, I just want to implore my colleagues and the residents online and here tonight that obviously this issue has a lot of passion behind it, and we appreciate the passion on either sides, no matter what your opinion, but let's try to keep the discussion respectful and professional tonight. This is a discussion just with respect to the potential actions during the transition period, not whether we're going to go with BSO or not. I mean, we've had those discussions before, so the discussion is limited on item number 9 tonight. So let's keep our comments related to the context and the meat of item number 9 tonight. And let's all, including my colleagues and myself up here, keep it professional as we go forward. So with that, Mr. City Attorney, or City Manager,
I'll take it.
which one's going to start off?
I'll take it from here. So as I mentioned, after reading the title, the item authorizes initiating the Chapter 164 Florida Statute conflict resolution procedures to the extent required prior to initiating court action against BSO. It also authorizes retaining special counsel, Mr. Gerald Greenberg, Esquire, of the Gelber, Schachter, and Greenberg, PA law firm is being proposed. He's also available via Zoom. I'm not sure if we can pull up his video, Madam Clerk. His engagement letter is in the backup, providing for his discounted rate of $475 per hour. Additionally, it would authorize the special counsel to take all actions necessary to enforce the contractual transition provisions, including but not limited to filing litigation against BSO. Should also mention under Chapter 164, there's a specific provision, specifically Section 164, 1041, subsection 2 of Florida statutes that provides for proceeding to a court proceeding without completing the Chapter 164 procedures if the commission finds, in this case, by a 4/5 vote, that an immediate danger to the health, safety, and welfare of the public requires immediate action or that significant legal rights will be compromised if you don't proceed to court action. So there is a finding in the last whereas clause of the resolution that's before you. Again, Mr. Jerry Greenberg is on Zoom if you have any questions. I think they're pulling him up now.
Okay, let's just give it a second.
No.
Not Mr. Greenberg.
I'm here. Good evening, everybody.
There it is.
That
There he
is Mr.
is.
Greenberg.
I'm larger than anybody ever wants to see me, it looks like, but
Okay, you are up, Mr. Greenberg. Yes. Did you have any introductory comments, or can we just get right into it?
you can get right into it. I'm here if anybody has any question. In my non-lawyering job, I do what you do. I'm on the council down in Pinecrest, and I know that nobody wants to hear from the lawyers unless there are specific questions. So I'm here if you need me.
Okay, we're off and running. Commissioner Snetsky, you have your light on first.
Yes, thank you so much. This question is not addressed to Mr. Greenberg, but just in general, I mean, August 1st, according to the timeline, they're going to start pulling out. Now that affects Weston Deerfield Beach, which is my area, my district. So my question to you is this: if that does happen, and there's a strong possibility that coverage would be lost, is the city prepared to hire additional police or security to cover? Because what I care about is the coverage of my citizens. That's what I care about. So do we have an alternate plan of additional security if it comes to that on August 1st? How much would that cost? Would that be implemented in the city budget coming up? I think this is a very important question because August 1st, I don't want to be caught without coverage. So that's my question.
Commissioner,
Whoever wants to take that.
the commission is the one who approves the positions for police and fire, and the commission has not done any of that at this point for the full staffing of police and fire. So until such time as we go through the budget process for fiscal year 28, there are no police officer positions to do that. And furthermore, what you're asking for is to have 2 police departments simultaneously and 2 fire departments simultaneously operating in the city, which I think, you would want to seek legal counsel on whether that's even permissible. But what we're asking is the same thing that we've asked all the time, is that the contract just be honored. And this item is before you so that we have potential legal representation in the situation where, in the city's best interest, or when the city feels that public safety is in jeopardy because of actions by the Broward Sheriff's Office, that we would then be able to have that in place to remedy any of the situations, including the one that you brought up.
Vice Mayor Hudak?
Thank you very much. And Commissioner Shinetsky brings up a tremendous point. Based on this flyer, and I'm sorry for the schmutz that's on it because I had to pull it out of file 86. Based on this, the sheriff has presented to our residents an implementation plan that would exactly eliminate police patrols west of I-95. This is not in compliance with the contract that we have in place that calls for a 2-year transition period that is supposed to be dictated by the city, not by the sheriff. So when the sheriff continues to put stuff out like this to scare our residents, when he is legally bound to have our police and fire stay intact until September 30th of 2028, 27, is completely unprofessional, is completely inappropriate. And this is the reason why we have to retain legal representation, because he's continually doing this and he's fear-mongering, thank you, our residents, which it doesn't have to be. We have had a tremendous relationship with BSO. And we've talked ad nauseum about the respect that we have for the police chiefs that have been in our city, as well as the deputies that have been in our city. And for the sheriff to poison that relationship by distributing stuff like this and having individuals on this dais talk about how this is actual reality is a problem, because this isn't reality. Legally, you, Commissioner Shinetsky, asked the sheriff 3 times when he was sitting at that podium, if we have a 2-year contract, will you honor it? And he said no, 3 times. How does a city go into a contract with an entity that would not honor it? And here, the individual is trying to tell our residents, well, I'm not even going to honor the contract that I signed 5 years ago because I'm going to make a decision to start pulling police officers out. That's why public safety is extremely important to this commission. And that's why we need this representation, because he is definitely not looking out for the residents of the Deerfield Beach. He's trying to scare them. He's trying to say that he's going to pull out police when he doesn't have the authority to do that, because he has a contract and we need to legally hold him to that contract. So that's why I am adamant that we move forward with this. And I'm hoping it's going to be a 5-0 vote, because this is scaring the residents in your area, Mr. Shinetsky, in your area, Mr. Plout, and in all of our areas as a city as a whole. And that's not what this is about. We've made a decision to move forward. We've hired a tremendous police chief in transition. We've hired a tremendous fire chief in transition. And I am looking forward to the day when they're representing our safety. And we don't have to deal with downtown and all of this stuff that's going on for our residents. So I really implore this dais to make this a 5-0 vote so that we can move on and we can protect our residents against this onslaught of, social media, this onslaught of these. I mean, this is probably a $50,000 mailer. We all paid for that. We all paid for that. And that's the reason why we moved from our sheriff, was because financially, he's not responsible. He can't prove what these costs are, and we have to be able to have control of the costs. If it wasn't cost related, we'd keep the police, we'd keep BSO, because the men and the women that protect us have done a tremendous job. But unfortunately, when you go double what the contract says, and then when we're in communications about a 2-year contract and you tell us you're not going to honor that, why would I go into a contract with you? And then when you start pulling this stuff, it just tells us what your true colors are. So please, as a dais, I urge you, we need legal representation to protect our residents. The health and the safety of our residents and the welfare of Deerfield Beach are at stake. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice Mayor Hudak. Commissioner Plout?
Thank you, Mayor. It's true. Commissioner Hudak, I appreciate your comments. It's almost unbelievable to comprehend the position that our county sheriff has taken, especially so far into this transition. This first came to my attention in my own mailbox to get that flyer. I brought it in and my wife and I sat down and read it, and we couldn't believe it. In fact, to look at that flyer and to see a map of Deerfield Beach where there's a line drawn right down I-95 and it runs to the Turnpike, all of District 4 and District 3 as well, most of it, okay? And the stated fact in the brochure on the second page is that they're going to pull out on August the 1st. That's just hard to believe. But then to come into the office and fire up my computer and see not a lot of emails, but a few emails that people were like, what is going on? And the one thing that I noticed about the front of the flyer is it has the Deerfield Beach emblem on it. Now, that looks like it came from both of us, both the city and both the police. I had a resident tell me if the police would call me and tell me there's an active shooter in the neighborhood, I would believe them and I would stay in the house. So they have no reason to believe anything different. And then what I discovered is this entire campaign. There's a 4-part campaign going on. The first part is this mailer. The second part is there were residents that were getting text messages of a picture of this mailer and links to Facebook pages. The third part of this campaign is a social media on Facebook and Instagram. And the fourth part of this new campaign is to have public meetings and bring people in, the pastors, and talk to them, and then publish these videos. There's a 5-part series of his colonels talking and him talking. He says, I'll pull 50 deputies out and they are not coming back. This is advertising to criminals that we're going to be unprotected in the next 60 days. And our contract, the transition provides that we're going to have something in place through September of 2027, September the 30th. And it also says if we're not ready, then the contract is automatically extended for another 24 months. Am I right about that?
The 24-month period ends or starts upon termination or expiration of the agreement. So it would go through September 30th of 2027.
Okay, period. Okay. So I stand corrected on that. But you know what? We made this decision as a city and as a commission on January the 20th. And for somebody like me that comes in the office just about every day, I have never seen in the year that I've been in office, all the conference rooms full at the same time. People are coming in and coming out. Sean Gladio interviewing people before we decided on Chief Morgallo and Chief Botting. And I say chief because that was their previous positions. There are transitional chiefs, excuse me. I see this progress. And when we named those folks, I went to just about every charrette. I got the greatest feeling, not from a piece of paper that said what they accomplished, but to talk with them. Now, all those charrettes, I missed a few, but I was at almost every one, and I have the utmost confidence and excitement that we really, really have this going. This is going to be a great thing for us. And then, boom, I see this. So I am not happy about it. And I trust that the city will have a 5-0 vote on this because there's nothing more important for any elected official than public safety, life, and property. And that should be the position of the protect and serve people. And not one comment do I have right now has anything to do with the rank and file that we love dearly. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Listen, it is extremely disappointing, to say the least, that item number 9 is on our agenda tonight. It doesn't need to be there. This isn't something that we should be considering at all. The only reason that item number 9 is there is for this commission to protect the residents of Deerfield Beach and to make sure that they're getting the most important and accurate information going forward during this transition. It is our number one goal to protect the residents of Deerfield Beach. It's also our goal to protect you from getting misinformation from the sheriff's office. The flyer that was alluded to that was sent to all the mailboxes is absolutely incorrect. It is a breach of the contract that we have with the sheriff's office. They are bound by the contract to provide services through September 30th, 2027. Period. End of story. Any implication by the sheriff otherwise to not provide services at any date before then is a breach of our contract. And so to prevent against that breach, that's why we have to go out and retain outside counsel, Mr. Greenberg, to protect the city and its residents from such a breach, to tell the sheriff and his minions downtown there that are putting out these false videos that we are going to go forward and we're going to protect our residents no matter what. That we're going to be on your side, on the side of safety, not on the side of fear mongering and misinformation. That's why this item is on the agenda tonight. It's unfortunate that it's come to this, and unfortunate that we have to deal with these issues when it was decided months ago that we were going to go forward on our own path. Those issues have been decided. That ship has sailed. The city has charted its own new bold course going forward. So the fact that we even have to discuss this tonight, it's actually very shameful, but we're put in this position where we have to protect the residents. We have to protect you and make sure that you have all of the most transparent and accurate information as we go forward. So I'm in full favor of number 9 as well. It's unfortunate that it's come down to this, but we've been given no choice. With that, this is a public meeting, so we are going to have to open it to the public. I don't see any more lights, so we'll open to the public. Madam Clerk, did anyone sign up for item number 9 this evening?
No, sir.
Okay, is there anyone inside the commission chamber that would like to speak on item number 9? Is there anyone online that would like to speak on item number 9? Madam Clerk?
Mark Andrew and then Jonathan Oniongen.
Okay, Mr. Andrew, you can go first, please. And Mr. Ungen, you'll be on deck.
Mark Andrew, 3800 Crystal Lake Drive. Everyone is talking about the rank and file. But what happens to these 300 rank and file people when they get fired? What happens to them? You're talking so much about the rank and file, but what happens to these people? You don't care about them? So let it be known. You really don't give a shit about them. You're talking about
Excuse
rank
me,
and
Mr.
file.
Andrew, there's no cursing.
Okay, you're
please.
talking about rank and file. What? Do you care about these people or no? Rank and file, hello, somebody answer. Commissioner, you said rank and file, now you're not quiet. Make it make sense. You're not making sense. Rank and file. No, you guys decided this. This is your fate. You wanted this for us. You could have taken the sheriff's offer. Now your rank and file, yes, we care about the rank and file, but you don't really care about the rank and file. You only care about your own egos, Drosky. You only care about yourself. Commissioner Hudak, who's gonna not be a commissioner soon.
Excuse me, sir, you are not allowed to impede
You guys are
integrity.
freaking pathetic. Rank and file. What about the rank and file when they're fired because they don't have a job no more, you freaking idiots?
Thank you. We're done with Mr. Andrew. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Mr. Ungen, you're next, please.
Jonathan Ungian, 1938 Northeast 6th Street. And I'm sorry I wasn't able to be there to meet the chiefs. I don't think they would have wanted to meet me tonight. I've got a little 19-month-old that brings home a lot of fun germs. But anyway, glad to follow up Mr. Andrews because that was my comment earlier. I think that rank and file, should be filing down the employment line in the city of Deerfield Beach and I can tell you a few officers that you don't want. They came to my home. And Sheriff Chief Hofstein can tell you about their actions and how unbecoming that was. But this is exactly why we need our own police force. It's not for the rank and file. It's for this administration that pays secretaries over $150,000. It pays assistants to carry the sheriff's glasses when he wants them to then hand it to him with six-figure jobs. I'm not worried about Mr. Gladiute and one person that is in charge of that when who knows what's going on down in Broward. And you know how much is tied up in the administration of this city. But back to the point of this entire topic, that flyer did get thrown in the trash within 5 seconds of me seeing it, and I think that was the case for a lot of people in the city. And what a waste that was to continue to make this PR push. Where if you really wanted your sheriffs and everybody to have a job here in this city, it wouldn't be standing your ground when you have a contract for an 11% increase. I've never heard of any business that just basically throws the contract out, says we're terminating because, you know, we don't want to follow it. So I do hope that this is a 5-0 vote as well. And what a disgrace to say that you're going to pull out in August, not even 10 months or so after this was finalized, 11 months, whatever. What a disgrace that is to the people that you say you care so much about to protect and to serve, that I've heard this sheriff say. And I know he's listening, you know, and maybe he can learn from this to not lose other cities such as ours. Thank you.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, anyone else online? Last chance for anyone else in Commission Chamber? Mr. Cummings, just name and address, please.
Joe Cummings, 267 Oak Ridge P. I got that mail to him, Vice Mayor. And what I've read and what I've been hearing on social media, this is an act of desperation by a dying agency. This was Nazi Germany in the May of 1945. They're done. We got out of this at the right time. Next, Pompano will leave. They'll lose the airport, and they'll lose at the Everglades, the port of Everglades. This is his last gasp. And it should be, like you pointed out, Vice Mayor, a 5-0 vote. A few months ago, there was a vote to basically name the police department and the fire department so we can register for an ORI. And that wasn't a unanimous vote. This should be. Jupiter just projected that they are going to save $10 million on their first year with the new fire department. You guys have saved the taxpayers money. You saved us from that plight. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Cummings. Seeing no one else, we're going to close the public hearing on item number 9. Oh, good, Mr. Backman. We're hiding on the side there, sorry.
It's all right. Thank you again, Commissioners. Commissioner Platt, I appreciate your words about this issue. I agree we do need a special counsel. That's how you protect yourself from this kind of situation. That's how you have immediate resolution instead of having to bring it before a Florida or federal judge. I'm not a lawyer, but, you know, 4 years of a political science degree, you learn a few things. So I definitely agree we do need the proper representation, the proper protection. I'm sure you guys have hired the right guy. I trust Commissioner Platt. I trust you, Mayor Drasky, in that you've hired the right person to undertake such a difficult and frankly dangerous task when dealing with their own city and a police chief that may or may not be following laws. It's a difficult thing to do to go against someone who can literally target or not target your home, protect or not protect your home. And so it's brave of all of you to continue this. And I can count on both of you, my representatives, because I only live in District 4, to vote the right way on this. And I appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Backman, I don't think I heard your address. Could you just give that again real quick, please?
550 Jefferson Drive in District 4.
Great. Thank you. Okay, now last call for item number 9. Madam Clerk, last chance online. We'll close the public hearing for item number 9. Commissioner Schnetsky, you have your light on, followed by Vice Mayor Hudak.
Thank you. We have less than 2 months till August 1st. So my question is to the attorney, Mr. Greenberg. The legal process is slow. That's a fact. The legal process is slow. We have less than 2 months. Could you flesh out a little bit what the process? Would you go for an emergency injunction to stop this? Could you flesh out timeline, what it would entail, so that the public is at least aware of this?
Sure, that's an excellent question, Commissioner. And you're exactly right. The plan would be to get a complaint on file in very short order and to seek preliminary or emergency, temporary, whichever word you want to use, injunctive relief. The reason for the certification, and state law clearly calls for this, the certification of a threat to the health, the safety, or welfare of residents is a basis to bypass the statutory process and go right to court, and that's exactly what we plan to do. As you note, the legal process is slow, but judges generally are fairly receptive when they see something on an emergency basis that is actually an emergency. So our hope would be to get this in front of a court well in advance of August so that we can get a ruling on this, seeking injunctive relief, simply saying they can't leave, they can't pull out, absent further ruling of the court. So to try to keep the current, keep the status quo in process. So obviously it's tricky to try to put a precise timeline on it, but we're confident that based on the issues here, which are evident, this is not one of these things where someone's claiming emergency and there's not one, which courts do see all the time. Based on the actual emergency here, we're confident we can get in front of a court quickly and get this decided quickly. It's a contractual question, really. So it's one that shouldn't require elaborate discovery or anything like that for a court to make, again, a preliminary ruling. So that's why we think we should be able to do it in short order.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Greenberg. Vice Mayor Hudak, you're next.
Thank you. I'm making a motion that this city commission affirm that an immediate danger to the health, safety, and welfare of the residents of Deerfield Beach within the meaning of section 164-1041 Florida statute, and that we direct the city manager, city attorney, and legal counsel to take all necessary action to initiate and pursue expedited court proceedings under this section.
I'll second that.
Mr. City Attorney, is that fine? Is that comport with number 9? Do we say and otherwise approve item 9?
Do you want to also approve the agenda item and the retention of Mr. Greenberg as well? As part of your motion?
Yes, as part of my motion, yes.
Yes, here too.
And the second?
Second approves.
Everyone understand the motion? Madam Clerk, call the roll, please.
Commissioner Plaut,
Yes.
Commissioner Preston,
Yes.
Commissioner Schnetsky,
I just want to say, and I'll give my vote. Yes, Joe, I'll give my vote.
Commissioner, this is
All
yes
right,
or no.
no
This is
problem.
not
No,
storytelling.
I will give my vote, but I just want to say, I feel that we don't need to lose, we should not lose coverage. I think that's very important that we don't lose coverage. We protect citizens in Deerfield Beach, especially in my district where they're very vulnerable. But all I'm asking is, before I give my vote, that we should also look at an alternate plan in case it doesn't go through the legal process like we want. With that being said, I do vote yes on this.
Vice Mayor Hudak,
Yes.
Mayor Drosky.
Yes.
We are now at comments by mayor and city commission.
District 2, Commissioner Preston.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Mayor, colleagues. The first thing that I would like to say is that the city is going to be celebrating Juneteenth. Our Juneteenth celebration will be on the 13th at the Oviedo McKeithen Recreational Complex. It will begin at 5 and go through 9 p.m. So please, all districts, District 1, District 2, District 3, District 4, everybody come out on the 13th and have a good time. Bring your families and we can enjoy the celebration of Juneteenth. When we have these issues, sometimes it can be very tumultuous, can be very complex. and challenging to say the least. But Mayor, I want to just say that when Commissioner Hudak was going to ask a question, I believe also that the meeting should have decorum. The meeting got to have decorum. But I don't have a problem with him asking a question. And unless we're not allowed to do that by charter or something, I think he could ask a question. I do agree with you. You don't go back and forth, but maybe he just wanted to ask a question, and I don't have a problem with that. That should be allowed, and that should, unless, like I said, that we're not allowed to do that. We're not allowed to do that. If he says, hey, I think the commissioners, we're all commissioners. And if he wanted to ask a question, but I do agree with you, this is not the forum to go back and forth. But I think that a commissioner should be allowed to ask a question or get some clarity at the time that the situation is occurring. I think that it is time for a new conversation to be had. We're talking about a death over on 3rd Avenue. And, when the city initially annexed that entire area over there, what they did was systematically chopped it up. They gave part to Commissioner Hudak and part to me, the commissioner in District 1, because part of it is District 1, and then part of it is District 2. I'm just going to ask the city manager and the city attorney, because the conversation that I'm suggesting, maybe there is some legal ramifications around that. Perhaps it's not pertinent, but I just would like to know it for just my own information. I think we should start having a conversation about adding a new commissioner to the dais that would actually represent that district down. Create that whole that whole area, which is part District 1 right now and part District 2, make it a district of its own that would be represented by a commissioner. And so I'd like to see if that's possible. I'd like to have that conversation. I think there wasn't given much thought to this when we annexed that area. It was basically, they become the city of Deerfield Beach, but we have to ask ourselves, are they getting equal representation? Okay, and I think that can be challenging in that. So I'm just thinking that perhaps it has come time to expand the dais and expand the coverage in districts in the city of Deerfield Beach. And that's it for me.
Thank you, Commissioner. District 3, Commissioner Shinsky.
Sure, thank you. Thank you very much. As we go into the summer months, District 3 is in very good shape. In Century Village, the East Gate, right off of Military, and Military is a county road. The East Gate, for decades, people can't get out. They're blocked because the traffic, especially on rush hour in the morning and coming home, they clog that East Gate, so people can't get out. So I want to give thank you to the city. There was a meeting 2 weeks ago between Broward County, our deputy city manager, Eric Powers, Master Management, the director and the board of Master Management. There was a meeting to address this, and we came up with a solution. Right by the East Gate, they're going to be putting 2 big signs. Right now, there's a small sign saying, "Don't block the intersection." They're going to be putting in 2 big signs. It's already on order. It should be coming in by the end of July. 2 big signs that will put in the medium, "Don't block the intersection." That's number 1. Number 2, they're also going to put a big X and make a box. And the X is going to be in a polycarbon, so you could see it. At night, it really shines. So a big X saying, "Don't go in that box." So that, with the 2 big signs, should deter vehicles from clogging up the entrance and exit of the East Gate. So, and also Century Village said they're going to hire law enforcement to monitor the traffic there and, maybe fine violations. So that's an action that will be done. So we're very happy about that. And I'm going to say thank you again for the deputy city manager and the city manager for moving that forward. I want to say thank you. In Crystal Lake, the Golf Villa, which are about 500 homes, they're going to be having an annual Crystal Lake Community Day. I brought that up at the last meeting. This Community Day, I invited the Children's Vision Program. Basically, because there were a lot of children during this Community Day, so they're going to come to this little festival, and they're going to sign up people for free eye exams and free glasses. So I'm very happy about that. Also, I contacted Deerfield Beach Community Cares because with the rising prices of groceries and things, a lot of the residents in Crystal Lake, they're suffering financially. So Community Cares is going to be there as well at Crystal Lake Community Day. And I even invited the Museum of Bubbles. It's a nonprofit here in Deerfield Beach. They'll come down there and they'll entertain the children. So we're really looking forward to that. That's Saturday, June 20th from noon to 5 p.m. At the Meadows of Crystal Lake, another community in my district. It's their last HOA for the month. I know the former Broward Mayor, Dale Honus, was invited because he's going to discuss, the military trail, which is a county road. So he was invited to that. I've been working with the Friends of Percy White Library and the North Regional Maine Broward Library branch. We had a meeting about 2 weeks ago. I think I discussed that a little bit. And on Monday, there are 4 benches in front of the entrance of the Percy White Library that were taken away. That's good because for a long time, unfortunately, homeless people camp out there right by the entrance, and a lot of the residents, or most of the residents, are really intimidated when they're walking through that gauntlet. It was really scary. So on Monday, those 4 benches were taken out, so now people could go in and out without being intimidated or scared. And I'm working with several community forums in that area to possibly beautify, because there's a lot of cigarette butts in that area, because when they camped out there, they would throw cigarette butts in the dirt. So we're going to see if we can maybe beautify that entrance. So I'm very, very pleased with that. In Quiet Waters Park, which is right across the street from where I live in Century Village, and I know the other Tom Plowd and the mayor, when I came in on Monday, got a ton of emails and voicemails. During Memorial Day, Quiet Waters Park hosted the Caribbean Festival. Well, the music was so loud till 10 o'clock at night. I mean, it was ear shattering. And I know my colleague Tom got a lot of those complaints. So I know Tom reached out to the director of Quiet Waters. I reached out to the director, and we made sure that going forward, any noise ordinance will be respected. So he promised to be vigilant on that, because I know on October 17th, 2026, there's going to be the Brazilian Festival. So we don't want that to happen again. Also in November, there's going to be a fall festival in Quiet Waters Park with soul music. It's going to be an actual 2-day event. So we want to make sure that the residents in that area are not, impeded with a lot of noise. So I'm just, going to work with Quiet Waters on that. Now, the Monarch Hills landfill, which is in my area, for decades, you could look through the fence and you could see the landfill getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and you could see the activity with the trucks. I don't know if the mayor saw, and maybe my fellow commissioners, I rode by Wiles Road, and there are oak trees now, so it's blocking the view of what's going on in the landfill. So it looks like a park. You just see this huge mountain, but now there's a row, it's blocking, with trees. So I just want to make people aware of that, to make sure that we're vigilant, that now that we can't see what's going on, we're vigilant of what's going on there, because remember, this landfill has toxic materials there. So I just want to make the staff aware of that. And with that, thank you so much.
Thank you, Commissioner. District 4, Commissioner Plout.
Thank you, Mayor. Couple things, I'll be brief. Tonight, I had the pleasure to be with Vice Mayor Hudak there. We were down to Broward Health Emergency Center for a ribbon cutting tonight. And although that is in the city of Lighthouse Point, it's probably 2 or 3 blocks from Deerfield Beach.
It's on the property lines.
Huh?
We just gotta move it 50 feet.
Yeah,
It's on the
it's
property
that
line.
close, right? I mean, I was like, I was gonna say a stone's throw, but I don't, I'm tired of telling old people, expressions, I get killed on it all the time, just joking around. But it's great because remember, we saw the opening of the Holy Cross Emergency Center here in Deerfield over by St. Ambrose. So we have 2 super quality places for emergency care on Federal Highway, which has quite a few accidents there. Also, our emergency center also has a facility right in that building for doctor's offices. So that's something I don't believe that I saw here. I saw exam rooms and things, but our center is more complex in that it has doctors that are going to be on premises. So if you see your primary care doctor, you could go there, and if he or she discovers something wrong, you're right there where all the equipment is. I have a primary care physician right now that doesn't have anything maybe than a scale and a stethoscope. He's a great doctor, but if I would need something, I got to go somewhere else, and all that's right in one spot. So I think it's a welcome addition to have that card or finally have medical stuff. And one other thing you mentioned, and since we've been talking about Third Avenue and the problem with that, when we all met individually about the 10th Street project in District 3 and 4 and how they're going to connect the Sawgrass to 95. That's going to take several years to do, but they did say that the 48th Street Bridge would be the first thing they would have to do and before they can even start on anything else other than some privacy walls over by Independence Bay and the waterways. And I asked them, how long does it take to replace that bridge? They said 1 year. So that's that really does put a spotlight on Third Avenue. I didn't think about it like that, so I commend you for that. And I don't have anything else to say about District 4 at this time because we just did that on number 9. And since our last meeting and when all this came out, that's pretty much all I've been thinking about is my district and what could happen. So I'm glad we took action tonight. And with that, I'm finished. And thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Commissioner. Vice Mayor Hudak, District 1.
Thank you. I do appreciate your comments, Commissioner. I do, but I was just going to direct him to talk to Eric, honestly. I wasn't going to ask him any question. I was going to tell him to talk to Eric too, but I do appreciate it. Couple things. City manager mentioned that we've had 18 charrettes, and I think we have one more. And I think it's great. We have asked the people to come out and meet the sheriffs, transition chiefs. But I think now we have to go to the people. Something Katie Freitag said really struck a chord. And now it's time for us to go to the people instead of having the people come to us. We've got our transition chiefs on board. I think it's time we take these charrettes on the road and maybe to the different HOAs, just so that we can get the people who don't have the Bucky Grahams, who don't have the Facebook, and who just really get their communications from their HOAs. I'll wait till the city attorney and city manager are done communicating. Is that something, is there a challenge with that?
No, I think we can do that.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure because I saw you guys having a sidebar. I just think that's important. We need to get this communication out. Hopefully, I really hope and I pray. This commission approved $79 million to fund police and fire services for this fiscal year. And we're going to, again, the next budget, they're going to ask us for more. And that's to ensure that BSO has financial resources needed for an orderly transition. Our residents deserve professionalism, cooperation, and transparency during this transition, not political rhetoric designed to create confusion and concern. Actions speak louder than rhetoric. My hope is that the sheriff will stop this political campaign and stand behind his own words of, at BSO, our priority and responsibility are to ensure a professional and structured transition throughout every phase while continuing to safeguard Deerfield Beach. Our police chief has that mission. The men and women, both police chief, our fire chief has that mission. The men and women who are protecting our city have that mission. I'm just hoping that their leadership will follow suit and continue the mission that he is bound by when he determined to become a police officer. If BSO works collaboratively with city leadership, our residents will see no disruption in response times or coverage, and we will have a seamless and orderly transition to Deerfield Beach Police and Fire. If not, this commission has now retained outside counsel and has directed staff to pursue all legal actions necessary to ensure the health, safety, and welfare of the residents of Deerfield Beach. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I want to just thank my colleagues for lively discussion tonight and holding, for the most part, the discussion above bar. I know it gets heated up here and everyone has a passion, but nobody does this for self-interest. I can guarantee you that. Everybody comes in with a good heart to represent their district and their residents to what they think is their best ability. And I think for anyone to assume or insinuate otherwise is just completely false. We all come in here. We're all residents, just like you. We all want what's best for the city of Deerfield Beach. And so we all just want to make sure that we have the best city going forward. And that is our only objective that we go up here. I do want to speak to my colleagues on one other issue because this is the only opportunity I get to do so in the sunshine. And that's with respect to the charter amendments. And I'm not going to speak specifically on any one of them, but I want you all to start thinking about the recommendations that came to us from the Charter Review Board. Some of the recommendations that came to us are pretty ministerial and require probably little to no discussion. And so I want you to think about those and communicate that to the city manager and the city attorney in the intervening 2 weeks. And then I also want you to think about which issues are going to require more discussion. I think it goes without saying that the restrictions on the Barrier Island and moving the elections from March to November, I'm pretty sure that those are going to require some discussion amongst all 5 of us. So it would give the city manager and the attorney the ability to kind of size up where we stand on each of the recommendations. Some of the more ministerial ones can probably be included in a city commission meeting just like this, is maybe as early as next meeting for the ones that require that are very simple, and then others we may need to do perhaps a special meeting or a workshop or commission meeting unto its own for the ones that are going to be a little more complicated and more involved. So just go through the recommendations from the Charter Review Board, come up with what you think is going to be the ones that you'd want more discussion on, and communicate that to the city manager and the city attorney so that they can kind of size up all 5 of us where we generally stand on the issue so that they can come up with a framework how to deal with them going forward. As I said, be it at a future commission meeting, a workshop, or a special meeting, at least so we can start sizing that up in the next 2 to 3 months maximum that we have to go through them to make decisions to get them on the ballot. So I just ask that you take a look at those, communicate it to the city manager, city attorney, as I will do, and then that the way they can come up with a game plan how to structure those discussions as we go forward. With that, I don't have any other further comments. Oh, I guess I struck a chord. Commissioner Preston.
Oh, did I not press it? Sorry.
I thought that was from before.
No. 2 things. First of all, correct. None of this is personal. Commissioner Shinesky has his right for his decisions and his comments on all of that stuff. And I want everybody to understand it's not personal. Commissioner Shinesky has his passion. I have my passion. Once we leave here, we shake hands and everything is hunky-dory the way it always is. But I haven't seen any of these recommendations, and I was just curious when we will actually see them.
I'll work with the clerk and make sure you get the recommendations in writing. No problem. We'll make sure that they get distributed to you all.
Okay, yeah, because I haven't seen them.
Okay.
I think the only thing that you've approved is the minutes from the meetings, and so probably in those details is what you've seen to this point. But the city attorney can collate all that and put it in a more readable form.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
Motion to adjourn by Vice Mayor Hudak, seconded by Commissioner Preston. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye, aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Great.